the investigation picks up pace, we are seeing that more and more could be revealed in this whole investigation, and we would get to know as to what was the deeper conspiracy behind the blast that happened on 10th of November. Back to you.
Anushka, I also want to take a moment to discuss how the explosives were gathered. It's not obviously a matter of weeks that these explosives were collected. It's a matter of months. How can you throw light on the operations that were underway, the covert ops by these doctors at Falah University?
Well, Vedika, what the investigative agencies have revealed is that many of this, explosive were in fact being developed inside the university, inside the room number 13 that we were previously discussing about. What we do know by now is that from Nuh in Haryana is where they had in fact purchased massive amount of fertilizers and chemicals, so they can modify it and can be in fact make explosives from these kind of chemicals. Also, what we do know is that this is not the first place where the explosives have been found. 350 kilogram of explosives of a suspected ammonium nitrate were found inside the rented accommodation of Muzammil Shakeel. They were planning to use these explosives in 32 different cars. We have seen a series of second-hand cars that the police is in fact hunting right now. The I-20 car in which the blast took place, the red EcoSport that the Delhi police and the Faridabad police have rounded up and were in fact saying that this was also a car that is linked to this conspiracy. Also, we are seeing that the Brezza that is in question is right now inside the university. This is said to be Shaheen's car, which was about to be used for the conspiracy, and we are showing you the visuals as well. This is the Falah University so that the viewers can get an understanding of what the university looks like. This is where this whole incident took place, where two of the suspects have been found and have been detained and been questioned by the Faridabad police cell. The whole investigation has been taken over by the NIA, but we are seeing that this is an umbrella investigation where Jammu Kashmir police, Haryana police, also UP ATS and different other investigating agencies are in fact involved and are trying to gather evidences and key revelations about these whole case is in fact set to be revealed in some time as well, is what we are getting to know. 32 different cars. Now, Vedika, this throws light to a very sinister pattern that could have been achieved had the investigating agencies not reached to the place and had not busted the whole explosives inside the rented accommodation, after which we saw Umar got in panic mode and then he orchestrated this whole blast that happened in Chandni Chowk. This clearly says that they had also discussed about plan B, that when any of them would get caught, some of them will be in fact orchestrating the blast that in fact we are seeing that took lives of many people as of yet. Over to you.
Anushka, thanks for joining us live from outside Falah University, the epicenter of all that was planned ahead of the initial plan, which was December 6th and targeting 6 places in NCR. But remember, that's when Umar panicked, when there was the recovery of the explosives, because of which he rushed that car into Delhi. He was spotted at 50 places at least through CCTV footage. We've brought you some of those videos as well. But more details also emerging on the other person that we've been talking about, the other person of interest, which is Dr. Shaheen, the woman arrested from Kanpur, who was allegedly tasked with setting up the terror outfit, the women's wing for the terror outfit in India. As per sources, Dr. Shaheen was receiving funds from Jaish and in constant touch with Jaish chief Masood Azhar's sister. Masood Azhar, remember, is one of the key masterminds of the 26/11 attacks. Sources add that Dr. Shaheen was involved in opening recruitment centers for the women's wing at the various locations in Western Uttar Pradesh, like Saharanpur. Investigative agencies suspect she was using funds to purchase explosives and for recce. So that's the update we have on Dr. Shaheen. Now, 3 days after the deadly explosion near Delhi's historic Red Fort, the national capital is under intense security blanket. In the latest in the probe, a new Turkey link seems to have emerged, with reports of the accused traveling to Turkey and being in constant touch with Turkish handlers. The passports of Dr. Muhammad Umar and Dr. Muzammil Shakeel showed travel to the country shortly after they joined certain Telegram groups. As per sources, Umar as well as Irfan met Jaish handler in Turkey and were in touch with the handler codenamed Okasa through Session app. It is said that it is after the visit to the country that the Faridabad-based terror module became active. Investigators probing this case have traced the origin of the Faridabad terror module involving the arrested doctors to 2 Telegram groups. The groups Farzadan Idarul Ulum and also Umar bin Khattab run a Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammad operative are believed to have played a key role in the doctor's radicalization. So now you're seeing a possible link between Turkey, India and Telegram being used. What we're being told here is after those two men joined a Telegram group, they went to Turkey, and that's when a part of this entire plan was hatched. That link obviously being probed at this point by investigators. Muzammil Shakeel and Dr Umar are the two doctors we're talking about traveling to the country shortly after they joined certain Telegram groups. As per sources, Umar as well as Irfan met Jaish handler in Turkey and were in touch with a handler with the code name Okasa. Aditya joins me on the phone line. Aditya, we spoke yesterday about the Turkey link. Today we're talking about the Turkey link again, but with more details about also a Jaish handler codename Okasa, about meetings that took place in Turkey. How can you throw more light on this?
Well, yes, we have crucial details of how this investigation has now led to a Turkey link as well. What we are learning at this particular stage is that Muzammil and another terror accomplice had traveled to Turkey earlier while this entire terror conspiracy was underway, and there was a meeting with a Pakistani handler that took place in Turkey as well. While there is a statement that has been issued by the Turkish government now saying that Turkey has no role to play in this terror conspiracy, but the bigger question is that even if the Turkish government is not involved, the meeting did take place in Turkey. There are visas and travel documents of Muzammil and others that clearly indicate that the travel did take place to Turkey. Then the question now arises that who were the people that these terrorists of the Jaish-e-Mohammad were meeting in Turkey, and why were they meeting? What was the conspiracy? And did money exchange hands in Turkey as well? Because the Hawala angle will also be investigated, whether there was money that came in from UAE or Turkey or Pakistan directly into the accounts of the terrorists and the OGWs who were working in this Jaish-e-Mohammad terror conspiracy case. So a very good Turkey link coming into it, not just Pakistan where the conspiracy was.
It's not just Pakistan where the conspiracy was hatched and the Pakistani handlers of the Jaish-e-Mohammad involved in this. There's also the link of some of the commanders of the Jaish-e-Mohammad in Pakistan, including Sadia, who was in touch with Shaheen, Shahid and several others trying to hatch this conspiracy. They were also desperately trying to recruit people here in India, because remember, since the Article 370 abrogation, there has been a decrease in the OGW movement. There's also been decrease in the recruitment of common Indians or common Kashmiris in Jammu and Kashmir. So that's a setback for Jaish-e-Mohammad, Lashkar-e-Toiba and of course Hizbul Mujahideen. But currently with the Red Fort blast, there have been alarm bells ringing about the recruitment silently happening of doctors, a new syndicate of doctors, and now a new link of these doctors in fact travelling to Turkey as well, where a crucial meeting with the Pakistani handlers had taken place. Some code names have also come out. In fact, 2 diaries have been recovered from the Falah University used by Muzammil and others that had some of the operational details in code language. That is being deciphered right now by the investigative agencies, trying to find out and see if there was a larger game plan and a larger terror conspiracy of this Jaish-e-Mohammad module which wanted to do serial blasts in India's national capital for a massive damage, for mass casualties as well, which could have been bigger than 26/11.
Aditya Rajkor bringing you all the latest from the ground there. All the angles, all the updates here on NDTV with our team that's on the ground. You have Anushka, you have Akil, you have Aditya, you have our correspondents in Jammu and Kashmir as well. Now, days after the blast near Delhi's Red Fort area, politics has intensified over the incident. BJP has slammed former Union Home Minister P. Chidambaram, who has gone on to say something controversial according to them on X. Former Union Home Minister Chidambaram took to X on Wednesday and said there are 2 kinds of terrorists: foreign trained infiltrated terrorists and homegrown terrorists. He said that he had mentioned this prior and also after the Pahalgam attack happened this year, but was mocked for the same. BJP has hit out at Chidambaram over this post, and BJP has accused the Congress of giving soft support and cover fire to terrorists. And Congress has once again chosen vote bank over national interest is what the BJP is accusing Chidambaram of. This while Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge has called for a full central probe. He said Congress would raise the matter in the upcoming winter session of Parliament.
इस्लामाबाद प्रायोजित दो दहशतगर्द दरिंदे हैं, उनका जो दरिंदगी है वो पूरे विश्व के शांति के लिए, सौहार्द के लिए और समृद्धि के लिए खतरा बनी हुई है। और इस जल्लादी जुल्म और जुर्म के जो जानवर हैं और इन जानवरों का जो जंगल है उसे जमींदोज करना जरूरी है। चोट आतंकवादियों को लगेगी, अलगाववादियों को लगेगी, तो चीख इस तरह के जो है वो प्रायोजित प्रवक्ताओं की दिखाई पड़ेगी। आप जो है कब तक आतंकवाद और अलगाववाद के प्रायोजित प्रवक्ता की भूमिका निभाते रहेंगे? आप राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा के मुद्दे पर जब देश एक सुर में बोल रहा है, एक साथ बोल रहा है खड़ा होकर, तो आप जो है वो किसी और के सुर में सुर मिलाते हुए दिखाई पड़ रहे हैं।
देश के पूर्व गृह मंत्री पी चिदम्बरम साहब, आखिर कांग्रेस पार्टी को हो क्या गया है? आतंकवाद की भी नई परिभाषा, स्वदेशी आतंकवादी, विदेशी आतंकवादी। अरे आतंकवादी आतंकवादी होता किस धर्म का है, किस समुदाय का है, यह महत्वपूर्ण नहीं है। उसने जो कृत्य किया है वो अमानवीय कृत्य किया है। कैसा तर्क आपने दे दिया?
ನಿಷ್ಪಕ್ಷಪಾತವಾದ ನಿರ್ಣಯ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಎನ್ಕ್ವೈರಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಎನ್ಕ್ವೈರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರ್ತದೋ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಕಠಿಣವಾದಂಥ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟವರಿಗೆ. ಇದು ಯಾರ ಮೇಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಇದು ತೋರಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದರೆ ದಾಕ್ಷಿಣ್ಯ ಯಾರು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದಾರೋ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಕೂಡ ನಾಳೆ ಭಯ ಪಡಬೇಕು, ಇಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಇದು ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತು ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಇಂಥ ಘಟನೆಗಳ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಾವಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ದುರ್ದೈವ ಸಂಗತಿ.
जो लोग वंदे मातरम नहीं गाते हैं वो लोग कभी भी भारतीय नहीं हो सकता है। अगर आप भारतीय नहीं हो सकता है, कभी भी आप भारत माँ को माँ नहीं समझ सकते हैं। तो इसीलिए हमें निरंतर सतर्क रहना चाहिए। और ये जो बात हमें बताया गया था कि एजुकेशन होने से सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा, वो नहीं। एजुकेटेड होने से वो लोग और ज्यादा बम बनाएगा। अगर मन में खोट है तो एजुकेटेड होने से भी वो लोग खराब काम ही करेगा। एजुकेटेड होने का गारंटी ये नहीं है कि वो अच्छा काम ही करेगा।
On that note, slipping a short break. We'll be back with more in moments from now. Stay tuned to Breaking Ground. NDTV accesses Umar.
The battle for Bihar is over.
There is a big twist in the tale.
Results ka time aa gael ba.
Two completely different elections were executed on the ground.
NDTV's results countdown begins. November 14th with Rahul Kaval from 6 a.m.
22% gap amongst the women. That's the election right there.
Top team, fastest, first and factual. Blazing fast trends, winners and losers.
There is an exciting counting day that you need to watch. Friday morning, drop what you are doing, sit back, watch NDTV. There will be a contest.
November 14th, results with NDTV.
Other opposition parties.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Namaste, India. As you all know, I've been traveling around the world with my music. But this one is truly special. Something that's India. You all must have seen the magic that was created in Kun Fayakun. Now it's your chance to experience it with me. So book your tickets from District app and together let's create harmony of hearts. See you, Delhi.
We unveil NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am, the course of champions, the conversation of leaders.
What a stellar lineup we have here on the stage of the NDTV World Summit to announce the launch of the NDTV Pro-Am. Arguably India's greatest cricketer, one of India's most distinguished bureaucrats, a top international golfer and also a top Indian pro at the moment. One administrator who's doing more to lift the profile of Indian golf than anyone has in the recent years.
All the top champions, the Tiger Woods, will all come from India in future.
It's great to be here. Golf is growing across the globe and here in India as well.
Whereas now the opportunities are increasing a lot.
Thank you very much. You're starting golf. We want to thank you.
That's very sweet of you. Thank you.
I think that's very, very important.
The most coveted invitation in the Indian corporate golf calendar, where top corporates go head-to-head with the finest professional golfers. An exclusive circuit across multiple cities, aspirational, unforgettable. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am is here. The course of champions, the conversation of leaders. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, coming soon, stay tuned.
The front lines of Kargil, the fury of Operation Sindhu. So many attacks. The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews. It's incredible. He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France, in Italy. At Srinagar.
Vishnu Shom for NDTV. Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
मजे को दुगुना करना है, मजे को 3 गुना करना है। गाजी, रोहान, come on say.
Welcome back. We're going to get you some international news now. US President Donald Trump has signed the funding bill to end America's longest government shutdown. The House passed a bill earlier today to end the 43-day shutdown. Republicans used their majority to get the bill over the finish line by 222 versus 209. Thousands of federal workers were working without pay, furloughed and laid off by the federal administration. The shortage of air traffic controllers has led, remember, to the reduction of flights at 40 major airports, leading to delays and cancellations.
I just want to tell you the country has never been in better shape. We went through this short-term disaster with the Democrats because they thought it would be good politically. And it's an honor now to sign this incredible bill and get our country working again. Thank you very much.
All right, the International Crimes Tribunal of Bangladesh has now set November 17th for delivering the verdict in a crimes against humanity case against Bangladesh's former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, former Home Minister Khan, and detained former Inspector General of Police Chaudhry Abdullah Al Mamoon. The three were tried for their command responsibility over the July 2024 uprising, which left hundreds dead and over 25,000 injured across the country. A three-member tribunal fixed the date and tight security around the tribunal with a heavy deployment of the Army and Border Guard in Bangladesh. Now, this will be the first verdict in a crimes case against humanity linked to the July uprising that toppled the Hasina-led Awami League government last August. We're now also going to take you through our viral segment here on Breaking Ground. What we have for you in our viral segment today is a conversation between Donald Trump and who is hosting Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara at the White House. There was a moment where the two were seen laughing and the conversation was quite interesting. Here's what happened between them. Take a look.
Yeah. This is it. It's good. No. It's the best fragrance. Come here, everybody. I have more here, sir. Okay. So what we'll do is just take that, Joe, put it in, and then the other one is for your wife. How many wives? You guys had never know, right? You never know.
أنا أرسلت له هدايا فيها شيء أثري قديم، أول أبجدية صار في التاريخ، أول ختم أيضا صار في التاريخ، أول نوتة موسيقية أيضا.
All of them were in Syria.
أول تعريف جغرافية أيضا صار في العالم.
That was made in the world.
Very good.
هي نسخة عن أشياء أثرية موجودة عند أصولنا في الهدية للسيدة الأولى تم زوجها.
Very good. Right now, one.
Let me correct myself there. It was more awkward than interesting. You have Donald Trump asking him how many wives he has. I'm going to slip into a short break. Breaking Ground up next at 1 with me in a few moments from now. Stay tuned.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's leading AI smartphone brand. Motorola Edge 60 Pro. Grab Motorola Edge 60 Pro today.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. And now, Aditya Raj Kaul begins a new chapter at NDTV.
Actually, I'm taking off because the stories I cover don't sit still. To bring the world to India and to take India to the world, I need to be where action is.
Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
The best app to use is the NDTV app.
दुनिया भर में जब भी भारतीय मीडिया की चर्चा होती है तो एनडीटीवी सबसे पहले जिक्र में आता है।
मैं आपका बात से सहमत हूं, उल्टे हम भी जब विदेश जाते हैं, the best app to use is the NDTV app.
The battle for Bihar is over.
There is a big twist in the tale.
Results ka time aa gael ba.
Two completely different elections were executed on the ground.
NDTV's results countdown begins. November 14th with Rahul Kaval from 6 a.m.
22% gap amongst the women. That's the election right there.
Top team, fastest, first and factual. Blazing fast trends, winners and losers.
There is an exciting counting day that you need to watch. Friday morning, drop what you are doing, sit back, watch NDTV. There will be a contest.
November 14th, results with NDTV.
Other opposition parties.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind. I pause. I reflect. I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Namaste, India. As you all know, I've been traveling around the world with my music. But this one is truly special. Something that's India. You all must have seen the magic that was created in Kun Fayakun. Now it's your chance to experience it with me.
Welcome back. You're with Breaking Ground. I'm Vedika Sood, and these are the headlines at the top of 1 p.m. More murky details emerge on Falah University. Major conspiracy was being hatched in room number 13 of the university. A large quantity of explosives had been purchased with the aim of preparing 32 vehicles for multiple attacks. New details emerge of the Jaish women's wing being planned in India. Sources say Masood Azhar's nephew's wife, Afra Bibi, and sister were in touch with the accused, Dr Shaheed. NDTV accesses Umar's latest CCTV footage. Umar seen outside mosque and cannot place on the day of the attack. Remember, the DNA match has been confirmed between Umar's family and his remains. NDTV accesses Jaish's multi-phase plot to target Delhi. Babri link emerges to the 10/11 conspiracy. Jaish plan attack on the 6th of December, the Babri Masjid demolition date. Opposition demands Ajit Pawar's resignation over Pune land deal scam. This after his son named in the land scam. Ajit says, "Will use my conscience and decide on whether to resign or not." And US President Donald Trump signs bill to end America's longest government shutdown. House passes bill to end shutdown after 43 long days. All right, we start with some great news coming in for NDTV. NDTV 24/7 viewership has been a super smash, and it's dominated viewership ratings. and we're miles ahead of competition. Managing editor Shiv Arur now joins me from the newsroom. Shiv, this is a moment where we express gratitude to our viewers.
Incredibly well said. This is a huge congratulations and a tribute to our viewers. And the reason why we're breaking this is because NDTV has established and cemented itself. NDTV 24/7 has cemented itself as India's #1 channel amidst a storm of claims and counterclaims, with everyone claiming to be #1. NDTV 24/7, the only channel that doesn't make any claims unless it is actually true. And for the last many weeks, we've been #1. This time, we've got a historic spike in our ratings during an election build-up week. It is incredibly satisfying. It's a tribute to all of our departments, our reporters, our producers, the incredible back-end staff, but especially our team that's been on the ground in Bihar, that's done such an incredible job building up to this election. You know, in a democracy like ours, election coverage is a large part of what we do in TV news channels. To see the rewards of viewership during an election build-up week, which is incredibly important for democracy, where all the hard questions are asked, is a huge affirmation of NDTV 24/7's commitment to facts, to being the fastest, to being accurate, to being credible, and to depending on a legacy and heritage of trust that we will never ever forsake. The Bihar power play event that we had in Patna that made such an incredible splash as well is reflecting in this viewership. So we take this very humbly. We take this with a great deal of respect. We also see this as a call to recommitting ourselves to the trust and the quality of our broadcasts each and every day. Remember, we don't believe in the word prime time. We believe that 24/7 is prime time across the day on our network, on our channel. So we thank all of our viewers from the bottom of our hearts for rewarding us, for watching us, and we promise to continue this as well.
All right, and more breaking news coming in on this discussion that I'm having with Shiv. NDTV breaks all viewership records. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, was live on NDTV, and that was the #1 show. Shiv, like you said, Bihar really is the story of the hour, of the week, but that interview also with the Home Minister is something people really wanted to tune into.
Incredible show-stopping interview by Union Home Minister Amit Shah to our Editor-in-Chief Rahul Kanwal is the #1 show across genres, across channels. It is not only an affirmation of NDTV's incredible election ground coverage in Bihar, but the Bihar Power Play event, amidst a crowded space of election build-up events by many other networks, has not only been so visible, but it's been validated by this viewership record being completely broken. Not only was it an incredibly substantive interaction, but the event was a huge talking point, created a huge amount of buzz on the ground, and really set the stage as a kind of nucleus or a focal point for NDTV's agenda-setting coverage across the board. Rahul Kanwal, our Editor-in-Chief, was on the ground, along with our incredible team of editors and reporters, our Bureau Chief on the ground, Prabhakar, we had Veera Raghav, we had Vasudha, we had Padmaja, we had Ankit, we had so many others reporting on the ground in Bihar. The Amit Shah interview becoming #1 sort of radiated out the fact that everybody was tuning into NDTV to watch, the election finale of 2025. And I think that is a reminder that the legacy of election reportage, the legacy of getting the big faces and the big interviews first, comes down to the manner in which this has broken all of those viewership ratings and records. So Amit Shah live with Rahul Kanwal on NDTV at the Bihar Power Play event, becoming the #1 show across the week, across day, across prime bands, no matter which way you slice it, I think is a reminder that NDTV 24/7 is #1 and here to stay.
Shiv, congratulations to you, congratulations to the team, but for now it's back to business. There's more breaking news coming in. All right, we have more breaking news coming in at this point. We have for you another video that has emerged the moment bomber Umar entered Delhi. We're now going to get you that footage. It's CCTV footage from the Faridabad toll plaza. Umar is seen in that I-20 car at the toll plaza. This is at about 8:02 a.m. on the 10th of November. He's seen entering Delhi, and he is wearing a face mask. This is CCTV footage from the Badarpur border. We're also being told that he paid for that toll in cash. There's a bag at the co-passenger co-driver's seat, which we believe could have been the explosives that he was carrying with him. Remember, our sources also telling us that after the huge recovery of explosives that took place, the man on your screen started panicking and he rushed with that car and he crossed the Faridabad border. There are about 50 CCTVs that have captured him in Delhi. Akil now joining me live. Akil, another video which is another piece of strong evidence, this time of Umar entering Delhi from the Faridabad toll area. What details can you share with us of this moment that's been captured on our screen?
Well, absolutely. If you see, we have got another CCTV footage which is exclusive to us, and in that video you can see that the main accused in this case, the kingpin of this entire doctor module, which has been of Jaish-e-Mohammad, which has been functional in the national capital region. What we have seen that this very person was seen coming from the side of Badarpur area and entering towards the side of the national capital. And in that video you can see he just stopped at the toll plaza. He just took out some cash and then paid in cash to the toll staff member over there, and after that then he entered into the national capital with his nefarious plan. And after that what we have been seeing that in that visuals that if you see from that area he entered into the Mohan Estate area, then from Mathura Road onward he comes towards Ashram area, and then he takes a detour and then move towards Sarai Kale Khan, and then he comes to the central Delhi part from the southeast district towards the central district part, and then he enters into the Kotwali region of the North District, where this man basically committed this heinous crime. And after that what we have been seeing that there have been several arrests. Over 15 arrests have been made so far in connection with the case, and several persons have been detained as well. Right now we have been constantly investigating this case, and in this case we have arrived in Noos village. Here you can see this is the very village where one of the accused, one of the suspect has been arrested by the Jammu and Kashmir police, because this man has got some link with the other co-accused in connection with the case. Because if you see, there's another person who has been arrested from Faridabad, has been identified as Muzammil, and Muzammil has basically rented a flat in Faridabad, and right now we have arrived in this very village to get to know the details of that owner, because that owner is none other than the Imam of Falah Mosque. I'm going to speak to him. अच्छा, मुझे ये बताइए क्या नाम है आपका?
मुबीन।
मुबीन, आप किनके भाई हैं आप?
मतलब किनके भाई?
आपके भाई का नाम क्या है? इश्तियाक है क्या? मौलाना इश्तियाक?
नाम तो 5 भाई हैं हम।
मौलाना इश्तियाक आपके सगे भाई हैं क्या?
हाँ भाई मेरे।
आपके मौलाना भाई को पुलिस ने अरेस्ट किया, पता है आपको? जम्मू एंड कश्मीर पुलिस ने अरेस्ट किया है।
मैं सुना था, वो मीडिया के माध्यम से अरेस्ट किया।
अच्छा, ये आपके भाई का किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ कभी कोई बातचीत होती थी, कभी उन्होंने आपसे शेयर किया?
नहीं, हमसे कोई शेयर नहीं किया। वो यहाँ पर रहता ही नहीं है, वो यहाँ पर रहता नहीं है।
बातचीत हो, कितने दिन में बात होती थी?
नहीं, वो महीने 2 महीने 6 महीने में बात होती है।
अच्छा, उन्होंने एक फ्लैट जो है वो रेंट पे दिया था, तकरीबन 2400 रुपये एडवांस किराया मिला उनको, और सितंबर 13 को फ्लैट दिया। कोई एक टेररिस्ट उनके पास आया था, उसने उनसे ये बोला कि मुझे ये फ्लैट चाहिए, और 2 महीने का रेंट एडवांस दिया। ये बात पता है आपको?
वो नहीं, हमें उसके फ्लैट के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता। कहाँ पे उसका फ्लैट है, किसके लिए उसने दिया?
मैं अगर मेरा घर है, मान लीजिए ये मेरा घर है, मेरे पास कोई किराए के लिए आएगा तो मैं उसका वेरिफिकेशन करूँगा नहीं करूँगा?
वो बात सही है, लेकिन मुझे उसके फ्लैट का ही पता नहीं है।
फ्लैट का वेरिफिकेशन नहीं हुआ?
नहीं,
ऐसी घर दे दिया रहने?
अरे भाई, मुझे उसके ही फ्लैट का पता नहीं है। मेरे भाई का वो 2005 से यहाँ से गया। मैं कितनी मरतबा आपको बोला।
लेकिन आप कह रहे हैं कि वो आपके घर आते थे, 1-1 महीने में बात होती है?
तो बात होती है भाई, ये मेरा।
किस तरह के लोगों से उनकी बात होती थी? कहाँ उठना बैठना था?
यहाँ पे कुछ ही में कोई उठना बैठना नहीं।
कभी उन्होंने इस बात का जिक्र किया कि उनका फोन पे किसी से बात होती है, पाकिस्तान में किसी से बात होती है? उठना
उसका कोई जिक्र नहीं है, ना कोई जिक्र है, ना कोई इस बात होगा कि वो हमसे बस खाली 2000। मैं एक मरतबा बोल रहा हूँ, आप बार बार मत बुलवाइए, जो बोल आप पहले समझ लीजिए। वो 2005 से वहीं पर रहता है फलाह यूनिवर्सिटी में, वहीं पे वो इमामत करता है, और उसके बच्चे वहीं पे हैं। यहाँ पे वो आता है, हमारी अम्मा है, हम हैं, वो मिलने के लिए।
बहुत छोटी सी बात है, एक इमाम अगर मस्जिद के हैं तो कितना पैसा कमाते होंगे? उनकी आमदनी कितनी होगी? वो उन्होंने घर कैसे बना लिया? पैसे कहाँ से आए उनके पास?
भाई ये मुझे क्या पता वो कितना पैसा है। वो कॉलेज से
उन्होंने घर किराए पे दे रखा था, उन्होंने घर तो बनाया होगा ना कहीं से।
उससे कॉलेज से कितनी तनख्वाह मिलती है, क्या मिलता है, क्या नहीं मिलता, ये इसके बारे में मुझे क्या पता।
एक नॉर्मल इमाम को हम भी जानते हैं, एक नॉर्मल इमाम की जो उतनी आमदनी नहीं होती है, उतना बड़ा घर बना ले, 4 कमरों।
have some breaking news coming in. The National Assessment and Accreditation Council, the NAAC, issued a show cause notice to the Falah University in Faridabad for displaying false accreditation on its website. The council described the claim as quote-unquote misleading and against its norms, while the university website states that its two schools, Falah School of Engineering and Technology and Falah School of Education and Training, were accredited by the NAAC. Officials at the council said the accreditation was no longer valid as it lasts only for 5 years. Anushka joining me live. Anushka, I believe it's Tanushka who's joining us on this. Tanushka, what details can you share? We believe that the NAAC, the accreditation given by them, had already expired for the Falah University?
Precisely, Vedika. The NAAC, the NAC, which is the official accreditation body for the country, has given a show cause notice to the Falah University for displaying false accreditation on its website. And we also know that this notice asks the university to explain why action deemed appropriate, including legal action, should not be initiated against the university, since the university itself was never accredited. Further, the notice also asked, that is, NAAC asked the university to explain why the accreditation body should not recommend to the UGC, that is the University Grants Commission, to withdraw the recognition of this university under the relevant sections of the UGC Act, as well as to the National Medical Commission to withdraw its recognition to the university as a medical school. The university has been asked to respond within 7 days, and the show cause notice has been issued by the NAC director and states that it was brought to the notice that Falah School of Engineering and Technology was part of the NAC cycle from March 2013 to March 2018, and the Department of Education was accredited for the cycle 2011 to 2016. While both were accredited with A grade, the accreditation now stands expired. So both of the above colleges, the status of which is still not accredited, and it is misleading and false to advertise on themselves as well as on their websites that they still have A grade of NAC accreditation.
All right, Tanushka, thanks for joining me live. Do stay with me. We have more news coming in, breaking news this time on Shaheen. All right, we're being told that Shaheen, the doctor who also worked at Falah University, did, while speaking to a colleague, say that I do real work after 4 p.m. That is something that we've got to know, and that's what she used to say to her colleagues at Falah University. And what we're also being told is that Shaheen would always carry religious books. Joining me live on that as well is Tanushka. Tanushka, we believe that the conversations with colleagues would also feature this one line from Shaheen, which would be quote-unquote, "Asli kaam char ke baad."
Precisely, yes. We've been given to understand this as per our sources, as well as, people from the Falah University, that Dr. Shaheen, who is one of the major conspirators in this white collar terror module at this point, saying that her, day job being at the university as one of the doctors out there was not her primary job, and that her main work would begin after 4 p.m. in the evening, which of course, could suggest that she was busy planning this. We do understand that this sort of, the blast that has happened at this point has been in the works for a while, and that they were planning several other blasts on December 6th as well across Delhi NCR in the National Capital Region. So these, sort of conversations that have come about of Dr. Shaheen with her associates or with her university, colleagues, that she would in fact go around saying that her main work would begin after 4 in the evening, that is after her college responsibilities were over with.
Thanks for joining us live. We're now going to shift focus now to the Falah University as well. The Falah University in Faridabad, like we have been saying, is under intense scrutiny. In the latest that we are getting from sources, the doctors planned 32 car bombs. 32 cars was a part of the original plan. There is said to have been a big strike plan on the 6th of December on the anniversary of the Babri Masjid demolition, with planned coordinated serial blasts. Important to understand that the fourth terror car has now been traced and found inside Falah University. NDTV has accessed the video from inside of the university, which shows building number 17, housed the room number 13, which belongs to terror accused Muzammil there on your screen. It is in this room, viewers, that the accused doctors met and hatched the terror plot. As per sources, the accused doctors pooled in at least 26 lakh rupees in cash, and this was collected and handed over to Umar. Investigations have uncovered a purchase of 26 quintals of NPK fertilizer for about 3 lakh rupees. Alarming details suggest planning of attacks in the national capital region as well as in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Faculty members allegedly acquired chemicals from the lab, transported it to Dhauj and to Taga. Police have now sealed room number 13. That's where the conspiracy, we believed, a large part of it had been hatched. From Dr Shaheed Saeed, a Jaish recruiter who taught at Falah, to Dr Muzammil Shakeel, from whose home 2,900 kilograms of explosives were found. All of them were a part of that conspiracy. Another key name, Dr Umar, accused of executing the Red Fort blast, is another man involved in those conversations. And the man connecting these dots, Jamil, the university's recruiter, known to have hired multiple doctors from Jammu and Kashmir. Remember, this takes us from Faridabad to the national capital region and obviously to other parts like Jammu and Kashmir. Anushka joining us live. Anushka, a lot of details packed in what I've just told our viewers. There were 32 cars that were to be used as sources for the explosion. That room number, which belonged to Muzammil, was a room where a huge part of this conspiracy was being planned, the terror module and the terror conspiracy being hatched in that room. What else can you tell us about what we've just spoken to our viewers about?
That's right, Vedika. We have seen that there are multiple rounds of investigation that is currently happening inside the Falah University. Haryana police are still inside doing marathon investigations, because yesterday also we saw almost a dozen of investigating teams that had visited Falah University. Now new information has in fact revealed that there were 32 cars that were the plan, in fact, to stuff them up with explosives and then send those cars to different key locations around Delhi NCR and northern India, so that blasts can in fact happen. Now we'll show you the visuals also of the Falah University. This is the key area. Now Falah University is also summoned by the NAC, and has been in fact told to show up within 7 days. This is the very university where Muzammil Shakeel and Shahina it was in fact also working inside. Now sources have also revealed, and the people who are in fact inside the university have told that multiple times Shahina used to say that her real work begins after 4 p.m. Now this could suggest that her real work could in fact be what they do for the chemical the transportations of chemicals and the IEDs that they were in fact collecting. And it is well under investigation that it was in the room number 13 of building 17 where all of this was happening, and Shaheen was in fact inside the university. Her car was also in fact being used for this very purpose. We did see the Swift that she had kept inside the university, which was in fact be detained in the joint operation that was led by Jammu Kashmir and Haryana police. We did see that car was stuffed with a lot of arms and ammunitions inside. But yes, we are seeing that key information are in fact coming from the Falah University. This remains a very key point for the investigation, where from several days marathon investigations are in fact going on. Jammu Kashmir team, also Haryana police, NIA and several other investigating agencies have visited the university from the past few days since the explosives were in fact recovered from inside. And now we are showing you the visuals of this Falah University, where also we are seeing that has in fact also given an official statement. They have acknowledged the fact that 2 of their faculties have been detained. They have said that they are deeply anguished with what has happened at Chandni Chowk, and they have distanced themselves, categorically denying that their university asset was not being used as part of their conspiracy, the larger conspiracy that was in fact going on. We did see that there was a plan B that was already kept in motion, that if any of those suspects would be detained by the police, then one of them would carry this and orchestrate this blast that happened at Chandni Chowk. We did see several of the CCTV footages that NDTV has accessed, and has in fact also shown that
If you can hear me, Anushka, I'm going to ask you a follow-up question now, which is, we've spoken about the 32 car bombs that were being planned, possibly not only in the National Capital Region, but in Uttar Pradesh as well. But we're also seeing that there's intense focus on the Falah University growing by the day. Yesterday, we had multiple security agencies at the university. Is that continuing today? Are you seeing a lot of people enter, interrogate others? Who's really under interrogation within the university, other than, of course, those who have been arrested or detained?
Well, Vedika, yesterday we saw multiple teams had visited the premises of Falah University. Today also, Haryana police team has gone inside and they are combing the entire university to find more proofs and more evidences regarding the blast that happened. Now, if we'll piece together the information that we have gotten so far from Jammu and Kashmir, this case started when Adeel Rather was seen pasting posters of, Jaish-e-Mohammad. After that, the arrest happened at Saharanpur. So we are seeing Uttar Pradesh is also a part of this investigation. Also, we are seeing that after he was arrested, soon after the arrest of Muzammil Shakeel followed, and then Shaheen was detained, and after that we saw this whole case unravel when 2,900 kilograms of explosives were recovered from the residence of Muzammil Shakeel that he had taken on rent till November 13th. He had said that 3 of his friends will come to take those belongings, and had in fact also paid 2,400 rupees in advance. Also, we know that Shaheen was in fact saying that she was doing the main work after 4 p.m. So this could very well suggest that there was a larger conspiracy that was playing a part here, and the investigation is right now continuing in this whole matter. Over to you.
Anushka, they're reporting on all the developments, all the updates, all the angles emerging from Falah University. We have more breaking news coming in. Sources reveal that Dr. Umar Nabi, Dr. Muzammil Ahmad and Dr. Shaheed Saeed, that these 3 doctors would converse through an encrypted platform called Threema app. They were in constant touch through this app, is what we're being told. They would work at Falah University, but those covert conversations would happen through this app. These doctors use Threema app to plan and coordinate their terror activities. Threema does not require a phone number or email ID, making it extremely difficult to trace the users. We have our reporter Tejshri also joining us live. Tejshri, these are more details coming out of how the covert operations among those doctors, the suspected terrorists, would actually operate and plan and hatch this big terror conspiracy.
Well, absolutely. Threema is the name of that particular app that these doctors used. All the 3 doctors used to, talk on this app. The reason being that on this particular app, there was no requirement for any identification, any ID proof. In fact, you need not require your contact number, email ID, or in fact also internet services were also not required for this. So important is, if you're sitting in any corner, you just have to make a server. And this is what the doctors did. They just made a server, and then they used to chat over all these on all this app. And important to notice, what we are getting to know through our sources is the plan of the attack, the documents, the maps, the road maps, anything regarding the explosives. All these things were spoken about on this particular app, because we have been seeing that how in the past, if there are chats made on WhatsApp, it leaves digital footprints, and that is why using Threema app, it becomes very much difficult to trace the footprints. Also, because if you have sent a message, then the message could be deleted for you also and for me also. So that becomes easier for the criminals, to erase all the messages, to easily erase all the evidences as well, and without using internet. Because if you use the internet, then definitely the IP address of your mobile will be tracked. Now, if you do not have internet, it will be difficult to trace an IP address, because you also do not have a specific mobile number and also a system. You just need a handset and also a server, and they created their own server through which they chatted. Now, important is the investigation team is also retrieving all the digital evidences and are trying to trace these digital footprints, and are also trying to gather the information that Is there any other server they created, a larger server? Only 3 doctors were involved in it, or they in fact tried to add as many as people on this server so that they can carry out a larger plot that they were planning to. Back to you.
So Tejshri, the investigation teams are also going to track whether the Threema server they use was hosted inside India or not?
Well, absolutely. It is not an Indian app, but yes, what we are getting to know is that it is a app. It's a Swiss app, and through this they were contacting each other, and now agencies will be definitely tracking that what was the link, why were they using this app. Definitely, it makes, as I told, that it makes difficult for the investigation agencies to track the digital footprints. That is why they were using this app. But now to retrieve the information, high possibilities that the mail could be also sent to this app, or in fact contact could be established with the concerned app so that they can retrieve more and more information so as to what kind of messages were sent. The messages were sent only within India, or they were sent abroad as well, because we have seen that they also have visited Turkey. Now this message, because we have seen, that Umar before the blast switched off his phone. He was not in contact with anyone. His family also used to say that his family also stated that he was not in contact. Many a times his phone was switched off. Then why his phone was switched off? High possibility that even if your phone is switched off, even if your number is off, you don't have a SIM, you can use this app through a server, and that's and it's highly suspected that he must have been doing or carrying out all these activities, talking over the phone, chatting over, telling about their locations, making the plan or the roadmap through this particular app as well. So that's why high possibility that official communication could be established to gain more and more information about the chats or the messages or the documents or the important roadmaps that they must have discussed on the chats. Back to you.
Tejshri, you'll have to stay with me because we want to bring to our viewers also the route that was taken by Dr. Umar Mohammad. We need to tell our viewers that 50 CCTV cameras have caught him en route from Faridabad till near the Red Fort, and we're going to bring you details on that. NDTV has access to new CCTV visuals showing Umar walking towards the mosque near Turkman Gate. These visuals were from the same day as that of the blast on 10/11. Police have accessed CCTV footage from at least 4 dozen different locations, painting a disturbing picture of Umar's final movements, because through it all, what we're suspecting is he had the explosives with him in that car from Mewat to Firozpur Jirka, from dhabas on the Delhi-Mumbai Expressway. Meanwhile, sources have also confirmed Umar to be a prime accused through a 100% DNA match. That match was made with samples from his own mother and brother, ending all speculation about the bomber's identity. You see him in the car, you see him paying the toll, you see him getting out of the parking lot. All those videos have one man in it. The man on your screen, Muhammad Umar, was driving that car, and that has been ascertained now with the DNA samples matching. Tejshri with us. Tejshri, we're talking about 50 different locations across the national capital region. What's chilling to me is the explosive that we're suspecting that was lying right next to him in the car. We know that this man did panic after the huge explosives recovery and haul by the investigative agencies. He fled from the spot, got into Delhi, and we've caught him on CCTV footage in several locations. He spent a lot of time in Delhi that morning and afternoon.
Well, absolutely. It's pretty much evident that he has spent a lot of time in the national capital and near around. He did go to Mayur Vihar. He then came to Connaught Place. Then he went to some other location, stood there for some time, and then went to the Suneri Masjid parking area where he was there for more than 3 hours. But important over here is that why did he go to all these locations? Was he doing a recce? Was he wanting to meet someone? Was he wanting to purchase something, or was there a larger plot? And why did he wait in that parking area for 3 hours. Sources reveal that he was waiting in the parking area for 3 hours because he wanted more and more crowd to gather. And also what we are picking up is that, you know, he moved to all such places, say it be the Connaught place or say it be Mayur Vihar or say it be the some other place in the national capital from Noor to Mewat, and then coming towards central Delhi. He rakied all these places to check that where he could find as many people and then he could cause harm to all these people, where he can carry out a blast. Was there, again the question comes, a larger plot? Because the amount of explosives that was recovered and the kind of blast that took place, that is certainly which is really shocking and surprising, that, you know, all these locations that he rakied, he wanted, what was the intention to recce all these locations? And if we minutely look at the CCTV camera as well, then he was very much, you know, we should say cautious about all these things, because he did do a PUC of his own vehicle, because he knew that if he is entering to the national capital, then his vehicle will be scanned, and he didn't want that any kind of scanning should have taken place in his own vehicle, because the explosives we are seeing in the CCTV footage, that how on the back seat of that car the explosives are, the bag, it's suspected that in the same bag the explosive he was carrying, which resulted to a blast there near the Red Fort. So it was the same bag, and he very you know, carefully had placed the bag on the back seat. He was again and again checking whether the bag is safe or not, whether the bag is kept properly or not, or whether if anyone is keeping a check or an eye on that bag as well. That also he was monitoring continuously. He was also wearing a mask on his face so as to he cannot, you know, easily be captured in the camera. He made the payment in the cash. Why again in the cash? Because again he did not want to leave any kind of a footprint, because if he would have made payment through any kind of digital app, say Phone Pay, Google Pay, or any digital app, so that, you know, helps the investigating agencies to track the bank account details, and again the entire it could be easily traced that from where the funding was happening.
Tejshri, thank you for joining us live on the developments there. Like we said, more than 4 dozen CCTV cameras capturing the man there on your screens. That video that we're bringing to you right now is of Muhammad Umar. This was right next to the Red Fort, and this is next to a mosque as well. It's when he turns to perhaps speak to someone right behind him or to look back that you can see a close-up of his face caught on CCTV camera. But I'm going to move on now. Following the explosion of a white Hyundai i20 which was found destroyed near the blast site, NDTV has been tracking the multiple terror cars. Now remember, this is important because these cars were a part of the suspected terrorist plan to use these cars as explosives. Not 1 but 4 cars were used by the terrorists to carry out terror operations. First, it's a Swift Desire, which was of Dr Shaheen. It belonged to Dr Shaheed, which was used by Dr Muzammil. This car was first seized from where weapons were recovered. This was a huge recovery, viewers. This led to a lot of exposes, and a lot of investigations became clearer after this car was recovered. Second was the white i20, which was used in the blast. We brought you so many videos of Muhammad Umar in that car, be it in CP, be it at the toll booth from Faridabad into Delhi, or be it at the parking lot near the Red Fort. Third was a red EcoSport, which is found in Faridabad. In the latest, the fourth car, a Maruti Brezza owned by Dr Shaheed, was originally to be used to carry out the blast, has also been recovered. Now the red EcoSport linked to the bomber, Dr Umar, was seized by the police. The car was found abandoned at a farmhouse at Khandavali village in Haryana. The NIA managed to track the car with the help of Umar's driver. According to sources, investigators suspected Umar and his team reportedly used the red EcoSport car to transport and stockpile ammonium nitrate over time. According to investigators also, the terror module had conducted multiple recce operations. Sources add the group was planning multiple serial blasts and was waiting for the final orders from its handler when it was busted. Aditya Raj called back with us on Breaking Ground for more details on this. Aditya, we're talking about at least 32 cars that were to be used for spreading terror, not only in the national capital region, but beyond. We're also talking about how these cars have been recovered, but the fear right now would be that there could be more cars that they own, that they bought, that need to be tracked down. What's the latest in terms of investigations on this?
Well, that's right, Vedika. These are big developments that are coming at this hour. We are reporting on NDTV that 32 cars could have been used by the Jaish-e-Mohammad doctors module, the syndicate that was behind this entire development, the Delhi blast, of course, but also the larger conspiracy. Of course, several of these cars have been recovered. At least 4 cars have been recovered. But I want to draw your attention to what's happening at the Red Fort site. Now, again, evidence collection is beginning. These are live and exclusive visuals coming on your screen of the Delhi Police forensic team, looking for evidence. You can see these, members of the Delhi Police who are now scanning this entire area here outside the Red Fort. There are 2 temples. One is the Gauri Shankar temple and second is, of course, the Jain temple. So right outside the Jain temple, you can see members of the Delhi Police and the forensic team looking for evidence. They are collecting evidence, maybe, some equipment that was destroyed. Remember, this morning, there was an arm of a person that was recovered at least 300 meters away on the roof of a shop in the middle of the Lajpat Rai market, which is quite a distance away from the blast site. That really, sent in alarm bells, and that meant that the intensity of the blast was such that, 300 meters away, an arm had flung across. So clearly, the CCTV that we have accessed as well also clearly indicates how the intensity of the blast was huge. There was a huge ball of fire. You can see this member of the Delhi Police, collecting evidence, taking whatever is relevant in this particular case. Remember, 22 vehicles were completely dismantled and destroyed in this entire exercise. So some activity being seen. Of course, the blast site is being studied by forensic and the FSL team. But here, Delhi Police personnel and forensic team right now collecting evidence, fresh evidence, because every possible evidence that they collect will point out to not just the chemical that has been in use, but also, whatever little equipment that was, detonators, etc., as part of this particular vehicle. So, as of now, the investigation continues, but we will be, of course, bringing the latest for the viewers, even as the interrogation of the 15 arrested continues. More than 24 people also detained. More than 50 to 60 CCTV videos have already been collected to make a chain of this entire, affair that happened on Monday when Umar travelled from Faridabad to Mayur Vihar to Connaught Place and then further to Red Fort before the bombing happened outside the Red Fort, in between Gauri Shankar temple, Jain temple, and of course the Red Fort. So that led to killing of 13 people, 22 others injured. It's a very, very sensitive and high-level investigation that continues, not just here at the Red Fort, but also on several key locations, including the Falah University in Faridabad and of course in Jammu and Kashmir.
While the forensic teams are there behind you, Aditya, I want to shift our focus even to the fact that there was a huge effort by these terror suspects not to leave behind any digital footprint, be it the Threema app that they were using, or be it Muhammad Umar. And we'll try and pull out that video again of him at the Badarpur toll while he was trying to get into Delhi, to show our viewers how he paid by cash. So the idea here was not to leave any digital footprint behind.
That's right. We've, accessed multiple CCTV footages. One of them that has just come across is around 8 a.m. on Monday morning when this particular individual, Dr. Umar, who is the kingpin and the mastermind of the Delhi bomb blast, he was the person who got killed while driving that particular vehicle that contained ammonium nitrate. But in this, visual of the CCTV at the Badarpur toll between Delhi and Haryana, you can clearly see that he stops, he pays the toll by cash, and then you can see, if we do a closer look on this video on your screens right now, that behind there seems to be a large bag. We do not know what it contains, but interrogation of several members and analysis by the forensic team and others clearly indicates that there was large amount of ammonium nitrate and one more chemical apart from detonators that were kept. What he had really done is kept detonators and ammonium nitrate next to each other. So there could have been some mishap that resulted in this. There could have been a panic attack also, or there could have been a desperate attack because, of course, Umar knew that time was less. His other module members and accomplices were already under arrest, many of them being interrogated, and many raids had taken place. So he was out of options. He wanted to do something. He was radicalized to such a level, and he thought for 3 hours perhaps at that Red Fort parking that what would be likely to happen. His car was moving towards New Delhi. Remember, it was not a stationary vehicle. He was at the red light. He was moving his vehicle. There was traffic around that because it was evening time. Many shopkeepers around Lajpat Rai Market and Chandni Chowk were leaving from this particular area, and that's when the massive blast took place here, which resulted in the killing of 13 people and many others injured. So multiple such CCTV footages have come in from not just the Badarpur border, but also from Connaught Place, other parts of Delhi and other parts of Haryana as well, including a pollution center as well in Faridabad. So as of now, what the police and the NIA are doing, trying to recreate the chain of sequence that happened on Monday of this particular individual, Umar. We also know that Fahim, who is a relative of Umar, has been picked up by the agencies. His interrogation is underway. Now, Umar had instructed Fahim to park that red eco sport vehicle at an isolated location so that the police does not get a whiff of it. There was another female who has not been identified yet, was also in that particular car, but Fahim has been picked up right now. Whether he will be formally arrested will be known in some time, but there are arrests happening every passing hour in this particular case. Ishtiaq is another key element, who was the Maulvi who owned that particular rented accommodation in Faridabad, where the 2900 kgs of explosives and ammonium nitrate and other ammunition was also found, and that's Ishtiaq is in the custody of the J&K police right now. His interrogation is underway. His formal arrest could happen today. That's what we are learning. So many other important leads that are coming across Vedika in this particular case, apart from the many vehicles that were procured, 4 of them now in the custody of the police.
All right, Aditya, do stand by. I have some breaking news coming in. We're going to shift focus from the blast site now to Falah University, where we believe that the website has been taken down by the administrator, is the latest development we have for you. Remember, this place has been the hotbed of a terror conspiracy. You've had doctors employed by this university who have been in a room number 13 or building number 17, if I'm not mistaken. They have been hatching a terror conspiracy. Now what we've got to know is that the Falah University's website has been taken down by the administrator. We're going to try and get your correspondent on that, but on your screen you see that image, future home of something quite cool. The website being taken down for now, but we will bring you more details on that. Huge developments happening every moment, and this is the latest that we have for you. Tejshri joining me on the phone line. Tejshri, the last time we spoke, we also spoke about the NAAC taking on the Falah University because they had expired accreditation. Now we're getting to know that the Falah University's website has been taken down. Why? Give us more details.
We are getting to know is that the website of Falah University has been taken down, and when we just tried to go through this website, it is just showing this picture I would like to show. This is showing if you are the website, if you're the site owner, log in to launch this site. If you're
the site owner, log in to launch this site. If you're a visitor, check back soon. That is just what's being shown on the website, because back to back we have been seeing that how this entire university is now under scanner. Investigation is underway. We are just reporting outside the Falah Hospital, this university as well, where now the professors, the founders, the vice chancellors, the teachers, all are being in fact questioned, and definitely all these 3 doctors also were those were the part of this bigger conspiracy. They were in fact here staying over here in the room number 13. The room number 13 has become the epicenter of the question that what happened actually, what transpired in that room. So that's why it has become very important, and many people must have been many people must have been searching about the university, must be in fact searching about the website as well. So high possibility that the administrator has taken down the website. Maybe number one reason to now hide all the information. They must not be wanting to make the information public, or the kind of information that is coming to the public domain. Do they want to hide some kind of information? Because we have seen that the university has already issued a statement yesterday denying all the allegations and the charges that are being leveled up against them. They have said that university isn't aware about all such activities that are being carried out inside the university. But it is now quite questionable that at such point of time, when the university is under scrutiny, the investigation teams are investigating the university, why at this point of time there was a need for the university to, rather than come and speak to people, is now taking down its own website. Back to you.
All right, Tejshri, thanks for joining me live there. That's the latest we have from Falah University. The website seems to be down for now. Why? We'll try and bring you more details in a moment from now. But NDTV has also spoken to the ex-owner of the I-20 car. The ex-owner of the car, Devendra, said he made payments for the car online. Devendra also added that the car was mostly unused and was lying idle at his office for about 8 months.
मेरे साथ देवेंद्र हैं जिन्होंने I-20 गाड़ी परचेज की थी। देवेंद्र, ये गाड़ी आपने किससे ली थी, कब ली थी, क्या डिटेल है इसका?
सर, ये गाड़ी ना ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म में एक कार डीलर हूँ। मैंने एक गाड़ी स्पिनी कंपनी से खरीदी थी मार्च 2025 में, ठीक है। इसकी ऑनलाइन पेमेंट की है। स्पिनी से 1 नंबर से गाड़ी आई है। गाड़ी में कोई मेजर इशू था, इसलिए गाड़ी बहुत लेट हो गई बिकने में। 8 महीने से गाड़ी मेरे पास होल्ड थी। 8 महीने बाद सलमान का इसमें कोई रोल ही नहीं। सलमान ने तो उसने स्पिन पे गाड़ी देखी थी, उसे तो पता ही नहीं है गाड़ी कहाँ है, किसके पास है, उससे कोई मैटर नहीं है। और उसके बाद गाड़ी मेरे पास आई, गाड़ी खड़ी रही। मेरे नेक्स्ट जो डीलर है सोनू रॉयल कार जोन, गाड़ी के कस्टमर ओलेक्स उनके थ्रू आया, उन्होंने उसकी डील की। उन्होंने उसकी जो भी पेमेंट फॉर्मेलिटी सब पूरी की, इंश्योरेंस कराई, पोल्यूशन कराया, करा के उनके आधार कार्ड, पैन कार्ड, बैंक डिटेल सब कुछ उन्होंने लिया। लेने के बाद हैंड ओवर करी। उसके साथ उनके फोटो है, सीसीटीवी कैमरा, सब कुछ उनके पास था। वो सब पुलिस को प्रोवाइड कर दिया गया है, जो जो टीम ने मांगे हैं। इसके बाद हमारा इसमें वो कोई है नहीं। अगर कोई पुलिस को हमसे और भी कोई वो चाहिए कि भाई उसमें और कुछ है, लेकिन बस है नहीं। लेकिन अगर कोई जरूरत है तो हम 10 बार भी बुलाएंगे, 10 बार जाएंगे, ठीक है।
आपके पास गाड़ी कितने महीने तक रही?
8 महीने मेरे पास रही है।
अच्छा।
और तक मेरे ऑफिस पे खड़ी रही है। इसमें ये गाड़ी ना बार बार बिकी है, ना किसी बार बार यूज हुई है। ये गाड़ी मेरे पास ही रही है 8 महीने तक।
अच्छा।
और 8 महीने मेरी निगरानी में मेरे ऑफिस पे रही है।
अच्छा।
जिसमें जो काम हुआ है, जो भी है, वो मैं नहीं कराया।
तो अभी आपने देखा कि किस तरह से गाड़ी से दिल्ली में ब्लास्ट किया गया, लाल किले के बाहर। जब आपने मीडिया में ये तस्वीरें देखी ब्लास्ट के होते हुए, तो आपके मन में क्या आया?
देखो दोस्त, एक इंसानियत के नाते बोलता हूँ, ये बहुत बड़ी दुर्घटना है, बहुत बड़ी ट्रेजेडी है, जो भी है। लेकिन अब इसमें देखो मतलब बेगुनाह आदमी मारे गए हैं। वो एक सुसाइड बॉम्बर था, उसने जो भी करा है, उसने अपनी उसका क्या है क्या नहीं है। आखिर पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, डॉक्टर होने के बावजूद उनके अंदर पता नहीं क्या समझ में आ रहा है। सबसे पहले तो एक इंसानियत होनी चाहिए कि भाई इंसान है, लेकिन वो क्या सोच के ये करते हैं मुझे नहीं पता। लेकिन जो है वो तो बहुत बुरा हुआ है।
कभी आपने सोचा था कि जो गाड़ी मेरे पास 3 दिन तक रही है, उस गाड़ी का प्रयोग ब्लास्ट में होगा?
सुनो, जिस बारे में मैं अपनी वो पर्सनल बोल रहा हूँ, हमें नहीं पता सामने वाला कौन है। एक अच्छा भी होता है, एक बुरा भी होता है। मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ, मुझे नहीं पता आपका बिहेव किस तरह का है, आप कैसे हो, बात पे आप कैसे कर रहे हो, बाद में आपका क्या है, तो मैं उस बारे में नहीं जानता। जो मेरे सामने बैठा है वो डॉक्टर है, अच्छा पढ़ा लिखा है, तो ऐसा भी नहीं होता कि उसको ये लगे कि यार ये तो चोर होगा, ठीक है। अब वो चीज तो सामने जब भी आती है, जब वो चीजें घट जाती हैं, तो उस बारे में तो कुछ ज्यादा हम कह भी नहीं पाएंगे। पर जो हुआ है वो बहुत गलत हुआ है। बस पुलिस ने हमें बुलाया गया, पुलिस को जो पूछना था हमने उन्हें बताया।
तो दिल्ली पुलिस ने पूछताछ की आपसे, NIA ने पूछताछ की?
मेरे को दिल्ली पुलिस स्पेशल सेल वालों ने पूछताछ की है।
अच्छा,
ठीक है। NIA वाले के पास केस ट्रांसफर हो गया। अगर उन्हें जरूरत होगी तो मैं उनके साथ भी बिल्कुल मिलकर बात करेंगे, और जो वो पूछेंगे बता देंगे हम भी। बाकी तो वैसे बजाने के लिए इसमें उससे बचा नहीं है।
जी,
ठीक है।
तो देवेंद्र, NDTV से बात कर,
न्यूज पे जो दिखा रहे हैं ना ये कि ये पाकिस्तान से ये है वो, मुझे तो ये समझ नहीं आ रहा न्यूज वालों को कौन रिपोर्ट देता है। हाँ, ये पता है कि सलमान को सबसे पहले फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सलमान खान को अरेस्ट किया गया होगा, क्योंकि उसके नाम पे RC है। स्पिनी पे मेरा रिकॉर्ड है, क्योंकि मैं उसका एक अलग से कस्टमर हूँ। स्पिनी पे मेरा चलता है, तो सबसे पहला नंबर मेरा आ गया। मैंने उनसे जो मुझे पूछा, मैंने उनको बताता चला गया। तो जितनी मेरे पे हेल्प हो पाई, क्योंकि तो सबसे पहले एविडेंस हमारे पास ही थे, ये आधार कार्ड है, पैन कार्ड है, ये मोबाइल नंबर है, जो ट्रेसिंग पे लगाए होंगे। तो वहां से इनकी जो स्टार्ट किया, जो उन्होंने किया होगा, हमें नहीं पता क्या किया होगा, क्या कौन पकड़ा गया। लेकिन जो हमसे हो सकता है हम 100% उसके साथ है। और तुरंत मतलब इस दुखी घड़ी में परिवार उनको शांति दे, उनके परिवार को। ठीक है
जी। थैंक यू देवेंद्र जी, NDTV से बात करने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका।
On that note, slip me a short break. I'll be back in moments from now with the latest on this story.
we unveil NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am, the course of champions, the conversation of leaders.
What a stellar lineup we have here on the stage of the NDTV World Summit to announce the launch of the NDTV Pro-Am. Arguably India's greatest cricketer, one of India's most distinguished bureaucrats, a top international golfer and also a top Indian pro at the moment. One administrator who's doing more to lift the profile of Indian golf than anyone has in the recent years.
All the top champions, the Tiger Woods, will all come from India in future.
It's great to be here. Golf is growing across the globe and here in India as well.
Whereas now the opportunities are increasing a lot.
Thank you very much. You're starting golf. We want to thank you.
That's very sweet of you. Thank you.
I think that's very, very important.
The most coveted invitation in the Indian corporate golf calendar, where top corporates go head-to-head with the finest professional golfers. An exclusive circuit across multiple cities, aspirational, unforgettable. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am is here. The course of champions, the conversation of leaders. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, coming soon, stay tuned.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu. So many attacks. The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews. It's incredible. He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right, Center.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
मजे को दुगुना करना है, मजे को 3 गुना करना है। गाजी, रोहन, come on side.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. And now, Aditya Rajkol.
All right, I believe we don't have much time left on Breaking Ground, so I want to recap for our viewers all that we've been getting you for the last 2 hours in terms of updates. Let's start with the first point here on the investigations and where they stand as of now. 32 cars were being used. That was the plan by the doctors as part of this terror operation. This includes a Maruti Suzuki Brezza. It includes a Swift Desire, a Ford EcoSport. These were being prepped to carry explosive material. Sources close to the Delhi Fort investigations have told NDTV the cars, including the Hyundai i20 that exploded Monday evening, was supposed to be a part of a coordinated serial attack targeting multiple locations in Delhi on the 6th of December. Also, please remember 6 of December is important because that's the day of the Babri Masjid demolition anniversary. That was a part of the plan. Sources say the blasts were meant to be revenge. The next point we're going to bring to you is also based on the investigations and what we're gathering from it. The fourth terror car has been found at Falah University. What we're being told is that at the Falah University, that car was also to be a part of those 32 car bombs that were going to be used. Let's move to the next point now. That was Shaheen's car, the Brezza that was found there. Let's also tell you about Shaheen being in touch with the Jaish chief Skin. What we're getting to know about this one point is that Shaheen was in touch with Azhar's cousin and sister as well, is what we're being told, and she was trying to get a women's wing founded here in India, and that's an important point to know that establishes the link with the Jaish chief Skin. Also at Falah University, the doctors met at room number 13 in building 17. That's where they were conspiring this huge mega plan, and that room belonged to one of the doctors. So Falah also being the epicenter of the investigations in the 10-11 blast probe. I'm going to leave it there. News and updates will continue here on NDTV. Coming up next is a very interesting conversation hours before the results with NDTV on Bihar. It's called Chunav Pe Charcha. Stay tuned for that special.
The best app to use is the NDTV app.
दुनिया भर में जब भी भारतीय मीडिया की चर्चा होती तो एनडीटीवी सबसे पहले जिक्र में आता है।
मैं आपका बात से सहमत हूं, उल्टे हम भी जब विदेश जाते हैं, the best app to use is the NDTV app.
The battle for Bihar is over.
There is a big twist in the tale.
Results ka time aa gail ba.
Two completely different elections were executed on the ground.
NDTV's results countdown begins. November 14th with Rahul Kaval from 6 a.m.
22% gap amongst the women. That's the election right there.
Top team, fastest, first and factual. Blazing fast trends, winners and losers.
There is an exciting counting day that you need to watch. Friday morning, drop what you are doing, sit back, watch NDTV. There will be a contest.
November 14th, results with NDTV.
Pulling us into this country.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Namaste, India. As you all know, I've been traveling around the world with my music. But this one is truly special. Something that's India. You all must have seen the magic that was created in Kun Fayakun. Now it's your chance to experience it with me. So book your tickets from District app, and together let's create harmony of hearts. See you, Delhi.
we unveil NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am, the course of champions, the conversation of leaders.
What a stellar lineup we have here on the stage of the NDTV World Summit to announce the launch of the NDTV Pro-Am.
Hello and a very warm welcome to all of our NDTV viewers. Polling is done, campaigning is finished. Bihar has made its decision, but we don't know what the result is just yet. And as we always say here on NDTV, it is never a bad time for a chai stop. So what better way to begin this edition of Chai Stop than by showing you perhaps the most famous thing to come out of Bihar, apart from its people, which is this amazing stand of Litti Chokha. But I have not been able to travel to Bihar thanks to these wonderful people you see over here. I desperately wanted to go to Bihar and report on this fascinating election, but this incredible political team, and they're all busy people, they've just come back from Bihar, and I've managed to convince all of them to please spare 1 hour for this incredible episode of Chai Stop. This is live, so welcome back all of you. Bihar is done and dusted. We're all waiting for counting day tomorrow. By the way, they're all going to be live from 6 a.m. tomorrow. So I feel a little sorry for them, though even I'm going to be there. But I'm going to start. Namaskaram, sir.
Namaskaram, sir. Namaskaram.
A very warm welcome. The most viral star from Bihar is back. Padmaja has disappeared into the badlands of Bihar and finally re-emerged. Ankit has been there for the longest time in Bihar.
I have to domicile now.
People know him by his
He can become a constable in Bihar. He has domicile.
Yeah. I don't know how many of these people even want to eat any more Litti Chokha. I certainly do, because they've literally come from there. He's got a plate in his hand as well. But Sucharita and Akhilesh are also here. So welcome to Chai Stop. This is where all of us reporters and editors get together once a week to do a little bit of Chunav Pe Charcha, Gupshup on what has been an incredible election. Now, you know, for most of us, Bihar is an obscure place. I'm speaking very personally. Obscure place, hardly anyone travels there. But what an incredible election this has been. I'm going to start it off with you, Veera. Okay? You traveled there. You spent a bunch of time there. Everybody saw your coverage there. Kaun jeet raha hai? Who's winning?
I wish I knew, yeah. I wish I knew. But I think it's ultimately, it's a fascinating state, as you were just saying. An extremely emotional state at some level. You know, the affection of Bihar in some ways is effusive. And Manoranjan Bharati and Prabhakar Kumar there, who will also be joining us live.
They are live with us from
They
Patna,
told me I'm their South Indian damad, because they were feeding me Litti Chokha every day. And Padmaja has corrected that it has to be Litti Chokha, not Litti Chokha. Just as I keep correcting people, it's Sambar and not Sambar.
Like a good South Indian, he refuses to pronounce it correctly, and I support him completely 100% in that. Padmaja, exit polls, all the numbers are done now. It's locked. It's in a box right now. You've been on the ground, you've been in the studio, you've looked at the numbers. Any sense in your mind about kaun jeet raha hai?
You know, I'll stick my neck out, even though it's very, very dangerous in the time we live in. A couple of things. One, first of all, this is going to be an election, this entire narrative of Gen Z which is being built up. It's interesting that this election result is going to come from a state that's the youngest in our country. You've got about 58-59% of people in Bihar are less than 25 years of age. You've got about 1.5 million who are first-time voters. So this is literally Bihar, India's Gen Z, which is going to give a result. And it's such a clued-in state. Trust me, Shiv, I've traveled across many, many states, and I say this with the greatest of respect to everyone. In Bihar, if you are trying to give them any BS, they will call you out. They'll be like, ma'am, 1961 में उस सीट में जो 2 लोग लड़ रहे थे, उसका बाप ये था. आपको पता नहीं है कि वोटिंग परसेंटेज गिर गया था क्योंकि 2 बैलेट वहां जला दिए गए थे.
They know their politics.
They will call you out, and going purely by the conventional wisdom, and sometimes you can just sense it, right? The general sense is, and I will just sum it up in 3 words, Nitish theek hai. It is not like everything is perfect. It's not like, you know, they don't have problems. In the same breath, they will tell you, paper leak ho gaya, ye ho gaya.
पर देखिए जब नीतीश जी वापस आएंगे तो उनको ये सब ठीक कर देना चाहिए. So they will say we have problems, but we want Nitish to come back and fix it for us, and that pretty much is my sense.
You know, my very personal preference right now is there's a good fight tomorrow so that our viewership can go on the entire day tomorrow. Okay, as managing editor, my personal interest is in we have a day-long broadcast, things go up and down, and we have a fascinating dance of democracy, because that's what elections are really all about. And NDTV, all of these people are going to be live from 6 a.m. tomorrow, like I said, so that's the broadcast you need to watch.
It's very worrying that you have said this for the second time, 5 minutes into the show.
This is
yes,
already
we will be there.
By the way, I'm saying this
We
so that
will be there.
I'm saying this so our viewers can also hold you accountable if they don't see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. So please kindly note. Ankit, is there an edge that someone has? You travelled widely. You were there the longest time as well. How is it looking to you?
So, in the beginning, before the candidates were being announced and all, I went to JDU office, and that has now become my go-to phrase. Election in Bihar, I was speaking to somebody and that person said, I said, आप क्यों आए हैं? आपका candidate का तो हो गया selection, आप क्यों यहाँ खड़े हुए हैं? मेला है sir, enjoy लीजिए. So that is what people do. मेला है sir, enjoy लीजिए. Till tomorrow, all political parties
enjoy लीजिए.
Enjoy लीजिए.
मेरी सास dead कर गई.
So
dead कर गई. पिछले साल मेरी सास dead कर गई.
So you know, now less than 24 hours to go. You know, when the results will be out. 2-3 important things, like Padmaja was saying. If 2020 was the election where there was Nitish Kumar anti-incumbency, people wanted change, the feeling of badlav is still there. But there is also a sympathy factor that people realize that this is the end of an era. JP movement leaders, Lalu Prasad Yadav hardly campaigned, he was nowhere, he's off the posters.
There's sentiments for Nitish.
For Nitish Kumar, that send-off should be, he's done for Bihar, he's done a lot for Bihar. But having said that, I still felt it was not a current election. It was not an election to ensure that Nitish stays or to get Tejaswi Yadav on that seat. There have been a lot of promises which have been made. I think it was a very hyper-local election. People, more than their chief minister, were choosing their MLA. And that is where it could get very, very close, and we'll have a fantastic
game
day.
on, which means
Absolutely.
game on, basically.
I believe it's a very close election.
Long and short of it, he doesn't want to stick his neck out.
No, I am sticking my neck out. No, rather, I am saying that it's a close election. For directionally, everybody...
You know, if I may, what this could turn out to show, largely the NDA and in particular JDU look comfortable, but because it's an MLA election, particular MLAs of the NDA, JDU and especially BJP may lose their seats.
Because
you could see a result like that,
Interesting.
where you can have the ruling party, some of the big names losing their seats because of anti-incumbency, but Nitish
You know, just one thing I just want to add to that, because you know, BJP's textbook is, and we saw that in Gujarat, you know, when the whole cabinet was changed. This time BJP has only dropped 19 sitting MLAs. Tejaswi Yadav has dropped 36 sitting MLAs. And I think that is where, and the 12 seats where the friendly fight is, that is going to decide this election.
Sucharita, what do you think? I just want to point out that our friends in Patna are standing there, looking nice and cool there in Patna. The politics is obviously white hot before counting. Vasudha, Baba and the others are waiting for us. We're going to go to them in just...
a similar gamcha there.
Yeah, it's incredible. We're going to go to them in just a moment. Guys, sorry for keeping you waiting, but you know, this is just a reminder to all of our viewers. We are hogging all the space over here. The people where it actually matters in Patna are waiting for us to toss to them, which is incredible. Bear with me for a couple more minutes, guys. Akhilesh and Sucharita, to you first, Sucharita. What's it looking like to you?
No,
One way or the other, or game on?
No, like Padmaja said, Nitish theek hai. I think there's an old saying in Bihar, Nitish sabke hai. So that saying I think holds on, because we in studios or in Delhi talk about Nitish Kumar flipping sides, but
Palturam,
but it doesn't matter to the people in Bihar. For them, Nitish Kumar is changing sides. It does not matter to them politically. If they're siding with Nitish Kumar, and the most important thing is that even after being at the head of the center of Bihar politics for 2 decades, he still manages to be the X factor of this Bihar elections. This is massive. This is incredible. So I think the entire discussion this time around Nitish Kumar and the kind of seats that exit polls are showing that they're going to go up for the JDU clearly shows that this may be a mandate for Nitish Kumar. We'll obviously have to wait, and let me reiterate.
So you're saying it is
from 6
a mandate
a.m. we're going to be showing it to the people.
Okay, so Sucharita is sticking her neck out as well.
I agree with Sucharita that this election is about Nitish Kumar. The last election, the slogan of the JDU was Bihar mein Bahar hai, Nitish Kumar hai. But the last election was about Tejaswi Yadav. Tejasvi Yadav was in
Bihar
focus.
does these little lines
Yes,
better
and
than
the
anyone
line
else.
is immortal. I mean, this is amazing line.
That one was by PK's team, by the way.
2025
by
फिर से
PK's
नीतीश.
That was
This time they
It
also
was
had
coined by
that.
Prashant Kishore's
Prashant
team.
Kishore's team. Yeah.
But the last election, Tejasvi Yadav had such a big mass appeal. If you could sense it.
Yeah.
If you could have gone to the public meetings of Tejasvi Yadav, you could see that the youth, especially, there's a current for Tejasvi Yadav. This time it was missing because Rahul Gandhi had shifted focus away from Tejasvi because of that vote yatra.
Yeah.
The vote chori issue did not catch up with the voters. And apart from that, this election is for Nitish Kumar. Why? Because the JDU slogan is also this time is very interesting. 25 se 30 Nitish. So फिर से Nitish. So that's another slogan.
Yeah.
But this was people thought this was Nitish Kumar's last election.
Yeah, yeah.
So they are probably saying that we have to say goodbye to a good administrator who has ruled us for the past 2 decades and under whose rule the Bihar has developed a lot. So for Nitish Kumar, this is going to vote for.
This is very interesting because all of you have said one common thread as far as Nitish is concerned, which is super interesting, and I take it very seriously because you guys have come in from the ground. It also reflects what we've seen in some of the exit polls, most of the exit polls actually. I'm going to get some litti chokha for all of us here and toss it over now to Vasudha in Patna with all of our friends there. What an exciting place to be. Epicenter of this election. Vasudha, you've come in. Lucky you with all our friends. Take it away. What's happening there? What's the mood?
We have litti here. We also have chai. For a lot of years, Champaran always meant Mahatma Gandhi for me, but Champaran is famous for mutton. This is something I learned. And of course, that also philosophically explains Bihar. If it is everything, it's also the opposite of everything. So if there's anger against Nitish Kumar, there's also a lot of gratitude for him. And that's what I was talking to Sikta also, that this election is a lot about Nitish Kumar, his legacy and the way his future is going to be written. I'm not going to talk much because we have Prabhakar and of course Baba here, the OG of elections. Baba traveled to Bhagalpur and he has had an interesting childhood in Bihar. Baba, tell us, Bihar kitna badla hai? And everyone talks about this 2005 election. Is 2025 going to be 2005?
देखिए बिहार बदला तो जरूर है, लेकिन जितना और बदल सकता था वो उतना नहीं बदला है। हम बड़ी खुश हैं कि हमारे पास 4 लेन हाईवे हो गया, लेकिन हम उसके लिए नहीं तैयार मांग रहे हैं कि हमारे यहाँ एक्सप्रेस वे क्यों नहीं है।
जी।
यूपी में देखिए कितने एक्सप्रेस वे हैं। हम इस बात में खुश हैं कि हमारा जो है गंगा में रिवर फ्रंट बन गया है। गोमती में बहुत साल पहले ही बना दिया था अखिलेश यादव ने, तो रिलेटिव टर्म है। लेकिन ये इलेक्शन बहुत क्लोज है, ये बात कहना चाहता हूँ। आप आरजेडी को राइट ऑफ नहीं कर सकते हैं। बहुत ही कीनली फॉट इलेक्शन है। मेरा मानना है कि आज भी मुझे लगता है कि आरजेडी सबसे बड़ी पार्टी होगी, और उसके बाद गठबंधन का क्या होता है ये नहीं बता सकता हूँ, लेकिन ये इलेक्शन वेरी क्लोज टू कॉल, जिसको आप अंग्रेजी में कहते हैं ना, वो बहुत आसान नहीं है किसी भी के लिए। नीतीश कुमार को, पर्टिकुलरली नीतीश कुमार के लिए एक प्लस सेंटीमेंट है, वो जरूर है।
राइट। प्रभाकर, ये जो हरे गमछे की बात होती है ना, लाइक अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर नॉट वेरी अपसेट विद लालू, बट सेड कि हरे गमछे वाला राज नहीं चाहिए, दैट्स व्हाट। सो आई डिड फील दैट द जंगल राज नैरेटिव हैज ट्रिकल्ड डाउन व्हेन इट कम्स टू द ग्राउंड, नॉट सो मच बट अमंगस्ट द यूथ, बट at least amongst women. Did you also feel that way?
Yeah, but before I come to a question, we have Hara Gamcha out here, and he's
लिट्टी है यहाँ पे, लिट्टी खिलाइए ना, लिट्टी दीजिए।
He's having a Hara Gamcha, and when I asked him कि गमछा हटा दीजिए, he said नहीं साहब गमछा तो नहीं हटाएंगे हम। पहचान है।
ऊपर से विधानसभा में।
हाँ, विधानसभा में नहीं हटाएंगे। So this is Bihar for you. Now coming to a question, the 20 years of so-called misrule of Lalu Yadav, that comes down. That actually, whenever there is election time, it comes actually heavily on them. And Baba is enjoying his litti, his starter. Baba, please carry on, Baba.
सबको खाना है, वो इधर चाय भी मिलेगा।
So that comes down, and that narrative actually, I mean, it comes down heavily on all other narratives they try to build. So they have tried to woo women, they have tried to woo young, especially the youth voters. And the data shows that 19% youth voters voted for them more than the NDA.
Right.
So among the age group of 19 to 25, they got 19% more, so that's a substantial chunk. But still, this Jungle Raj narrative actually is something which a baggage which Tejasvi Yadav is finding it hard to shed.
Okay, Somo actually pointed out something very interesting to us when we were talking to him. He said that this time the narrative around women voters is going to be broken, and a lot of people believe that because we also, I mean, I didn't find a lot of Muslim and Yadav women going beyond their caste barriers and voting for Nitish Kumar. Why do you think that this whole aspect around women voting is often exaggerated. Do you feel that way?
बिल्कुल, देखिए अभी जो आंकड़े सामने आ रहे हैं हम देख रहे हैं कि ज़्यादातर जिलों में महिलाओं ने ज़्यादा वोट किया है पुरुषों के मुकाबले, लेकिन कोई भी एग्जिट पोल देखिए उसमें आरजेडी और जो पूरा महागठबंधन है उसको भी ठीक ठाक सीटें मिलती हुई दिखाई दे रही हैं। तो जाहिर तौर पे ये बहुत क्लोज इलेक्शन होने वाला है। जो नैरेटिव है कि महिलाएं अगर ज़्यादा वोट करती हैं तो उससे एनडीए को फ़ायदा होता है। पिछली बार सीमांचल, कोसी और मिथिलांचल के इलाके में 24 सीटें इन्होंने जीती थी महागठबंधन ने। इन 24 की 24 सीटों पर महिलाओं ने पुरुषों के मुकाबले ज़्यादा परसेंटेज के मामले में वोट किया था। इसलिए ये जो परसेप्शन है वो बिल्कुल खारिज होता है। एक और बात कि हम सब लोग लगातार ये दोहराते हैं कि हमने महिलाओं की लंबी कतार देखी, लंबी कतार देखी। देखिए करीब 90,000 बूथ हैं बिहार में और अभी जो महिलाओं ने जितने ज़्यादा वोट किए हैं वो आंकड़ा करीब 4 लाख के आसपास का होता है। तो एक बूथ पर 4 महिलाएं सिर्फ पुरुष के मुकाबले ज़्यादा आकर वोट कर रही है। ऐसे में ये कहना कि महिलाएं बहुत बड़ी तादाद में दिखी, वहाँ पुरुष नहीं दिखे, ये कहना भी हम लोग थोड़ा अतिशयोक्ति करते हैं मुझे लगता है।
Talking about voting percentages, Sikta was in Katihar and Katihar has voted like, I mean, it's broken all records. It's gone beyond 75%.
Right.
Did you expect that to happen? Simanchal, I mean, I found it very interesting, Sikta, that I was hoping youngsters of Simanchal to talk about minority politics, identity, and you know, it was complete. I was completely
and
wrong.
The SIR,
because,
not to forget the SIR.
But
I mean, it was nowhere to be seen. The SIR.
Two factors.
But they wanted to talk about lack of development. They said ki Kosi Nadi and all that.
The number of people who turned at the polling booths, I see two factors on ground working this time. Especially in Simanchal, the poll dates were very close to the Chhath and the Diwali. So a lot of migrants who work in other states, they had trekked down for their festival and they decided to stay back. The other factor which especially worked for the minority community is I met a lot of people who are working in Srinagar, Mumbai and other states. They also have come back just 2 days before 11th.
Right.
They wanted to emphasize that एक अफवाह उड़ी है यहाँ पर कि अगर हम यहाँ नहीं आएंगे, वोट नहीं डालेंगे, हमारा नाम कट जाएगा. So that fear was there because of rumors that if you are not part of this democratic process which is happening in your state, you might not get the benefits. Your women will not be the beneficiaries. So that fear was there. So that's why the massive turnout around Simanchal too. But which way the MY, the Mahila and Yuva will go, that's the new factor which is going to work for Bihar this time. So we need to wait and watch.
The phase 2 elections also happened a day after the blast. Chandan, what was your experience? Where all did you travel?
So I was basically, for the first phase of election, traveling districts of North Bihar, mainly Muzaffarpur, Samastipur and Darbhanga. Then for the second phase, I was traveling in West and East Champaran. One very key observation that I had while I was talking to voters in and around all this area, especially Champaran is known as a stronghold of BJP. You had Radha Mohan Singh here, who has been MP for last 8 consecutive times, and most of the seats in this whole belt is dominated by BJP. Two key observations that I had while covering election. One, if you have to understand that what's the mood of voters, the selection of candidates by the BJP at many seats in the urban area seems to be a thing of worry in BJP.
Okay.
They have repeated candidates.
Chandan, I think Shiv also wants to make a point. Shiv, here people are, they have their own experiences, and let me tell you, it's all been very enriching for us. It's been very humbling for us in a lot of ways, because Bihari wisdom, wise voters often say that, you know, आपने हमारे सांसद को नहीं देखा, हमने भी नहीं देखा. That's one I
and we also need to talk amongst ourselves कि हम जिस area में घूमे, what did we eat? Because in Bihar,
so like Meenakshi was in one of the most interesting areas where you get
mutton. I was in Champaran.
Champaran mutton.
So there's a famous called shop, Jaiswal shop. I was just amazed to see the number of people sitting there every second. In my life, I have never seen people eating mutton like the way they were eating there.
You had no. You had your stomach full. You enjoyed.
I had it and I shot it also.
I
had it and I shot it also.
Litti chokha, aap khaye mutton. Janendra was in the epicenter. Kishanganj में था.
अच्छा, हाँ.
तो पहले तो मैं मटन की कहानी सुना देता हूँ सर. पितृपक्ष में हम लोग पप्पू यादव का इंटरव्यू करने गए थे और उन्होंने हम सबको मटन ऑफर किया. इसने शुरुआत की कि नहीं पितृपक्ष है, मैं तो नहीं खाऊंगा, मैं तो पनीर खाऊंगा. और फिर जब हम लोगों ने खाना शुरू किया तो फिर इसके पेट में कब मटन आया किसी को पता नहीं चला. सबने देखा अचानक अच्छा ये भी खा रहा है और तारीफ कर रहा है. खैर मैं किशनगंज में था वसुधा, और दो बड़े मुद्दे जो किशनगंज को लेकर बताए जा रहे थे सत्ता पक्ष और विपक्ष की तरफ से।
सीधे बताइए, MIM को वोट मिल रहा है या नहीं मिल रहा है?
2 सीटों पर अमौर
में तो मिल रहा है।
अमौर जहां पे अख्तरुल ईमान उनके प्रदेश अध्यक्ष हैं और सबसे बड़ा चेहरा है MIM के बिहार में, वो मुख्य मुकाबले में, और उसके ठीक बगल में एक सीट है बायसी। अमौर और बायसी में MIM मुख्य मुकाबले में है। इसके अलावा बहादुरगंज, किशनगंज, इन सीटों पर भी MIM को वोट मिले हैं, लेकिन उस तरह नहीं जिस तरह पिछली बार मिले थे। तो 5 सीटें पिछली बार MIM ने जीती थी। इस बार मुझे लगता है कि वो आंकड़ा वो नहीं छू पाएंगे, 2 या 3 सीटों पर सिमट जाएंगे, लेकिन उनके प्रदर्शन से कुछ सीटों पर अगर खेल महागठबंधन का बिगड़ा तो वहां NDA जीत सकती है।
ओके, वेरी क्विकली मीनाक्षी, व्हाट हैज बीन योर एक्सपीरियंस?
मैं आपको मिथिलांचल का बताऊंगी, लेकिन उससे पहले यहाँ पर जब मैं आई हूँ, मैं RJD ऑफिस से होते हुए आ रही हूँ। बिहार में बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है पोस्टर्स की पॉलिटिक्स, और RJD ऑफिस के बाहर पोस्टर लगा है जिसमें स्थानीय यूनिट जो है उसने अलविदा चाचा उस पर हाईलाइट किया है। मैसेज लाउड एंड क्लियर है।
टाइगर जिंदा है का पोस्टर भी तो आया है आज।
हाँ। तो जो पोस्टर्स की इंटरेस्टिंग पॉलिटिक्स जो बिहार में दिखाई देती है वो दिखनी शुरू हो गई है। हालांकि वैसी हलचल नहीं थी कि कोई मिठाइयाँ बन रही हों या फ्लावर्स आ रहे हैं या डेकोरेशन शुरू है। हल्की फुल्की तैयारियां हैं, अभी कोई पत्ते नहीं खोल रहा है, लेकिन सब ये कह रहे हैं कि हम जीत रहे हैं, हम आ रहे हैं। तेजस्वी ने तारीख दे दिया कि 18 को हम शपथ ले रहे हैं। इन सब के बीच मैं मिथिलांचल के एरिया में थी, मधुबनी, जहाँ पर NDA का स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड रहा है, लेकिन इस बार वहाँ पर कैसी फाइट होगी? सुबह के
बहुत पॉलिटिक्स हो गया, एंड पॉलिटिक्स ऑलवेज मेक्स मी रियली हंग्री. सो व्हाइल वी टॉक अबाउट पॉलिटिक्स वी हैव टू शो यू आवर ब्यूटीफुल लिट्टी चोखा स्टैंड, very authentic. I don't know why Veera Raghav is standing over here, but I think he wants. No, I'm not. No, 1 second. I'm sorry, I mispronounced it. It's Litti Choka, as according to Veera Raghav, and he's going to be making one. Please teach me how to make one. Come. No.
You've learned the art, no?
The reason for this is Litti Choka is a iconic food from Bihar. Everyone has heard of it. Everyone loves it. It's available all across the country now, I hear, including in the south where I come from. I don't know if you get it in Bangalore. I'm sure you do.
Bihari restaurants are there.
One of the candidates and the superstar there, Shiv Khesari, used to sell litti chokha in Okhla. From selling litti chokha on a thela in Okhla, he's now a Bhojpuri superstar. So it's a great thing to have litti chokha. Veera, you could be the next Bhojpuri superstar.
Yeah, look at him.
I don't want to be a Bhojpuri superstar. I want to do a startup.
From Veera Raghav, you may soon have Veer Singh Chaudhary.
First of all, you just make us one. Let us see your talents in making a litti first of all, and let's see how good you are.
Devendra Singh, who's from Chhabra.
No, but I have a serious question to ask.
Mr. Litti.
It's iconic outside Bihar. How iconic is it inside Bihar, Ankit? Litti chokha.
Yeah, it's the staple food.
It's
so the day begins with dahi chura.
Yeah.
Then you have.
No, I disagree. The day begins with that sattu shake according to
sattu. No, sattu. When you go out, you leave your house with dahi chura. Okay. Then you have sattu that to drink, and then of course lunch is litti chokha. In the evening,
you know,
it's
actually
mutton.
People from Bihar get very upset if you keep talking about litti chokha. They say
because there's so much more.
They're like, boss, you know, we are typecast with this litti chokha. हम तो घर पे नहीं खाते कभी.
No, that is a very good question.
Why don't you ask a Bihari about it?
Let's go one by one.
घर पे बनता है लिट्टी चोखा इतना ज्यादा?
बनता है. थोड़ा माइक पास लगे.
कोई भी हमारे यहाँ अगर कोई गेस्ट आया तो हम लोग लिट्टी चोखा बनाएंगे, और अगर नॉनवेज खाने वाले हैं तो मटन चिकन के साथ लिट्टी उसको सर्व करते हैं.
Padmaja, what
थोड़ा एंजॉय करते हैं.
No, let's go one by one on this. Forget litti chokha. We're eating this right now, and I want everyone to dig in and get some of this wonderful thing. I'm drooling while anchoring. It's difficult for me. But Padmaja, what was the best thing you ate while you were on your journey in Bihar?
I really liked, I think they do excellent non-veg food.
Yeah.
They have very good, you know, in Delhi we have a lot of Champaran mutton, but there's much more to that. They have very different kinds of homemade mutton that they do. So, yeah, that I would say was the standout. And just bhuja was amazing. Bhuja is really light. This, by the way, is bhuja.
This is the evening snack.
So we have a little bit of this in UP also, like you put chivda together, you know, mixed snack.
Courtesy Prabhakar, I have had this every single evening till I have been there. Like bhuja.
Prabhakar's office is
and sometimes it is served hot also.
Served hot and with a mirchi. So Shiv, you just don't eat it like this. You have hari mirchi with it, and you eat hari mirchi and salt.
You know, like a lot of this you would see now being sold as healthy snacks. You know, diet namkeen.
So this is
as
OG
rustic
diet
as
namkeen.
Exactly.
Right?
This is what people eat for energy. You know, it's healthy. It's just lightly oiled. और हम उसको पैकेट में डाल के डाइट नमकीन डाइट चिवड़ा कर रहे हैं. People in Bihar have been eating it for ages.
proper marketing Padmaja ji.
Ankit is a vegetarian, by the way. Yeah. How was I'm sure there's wonderful vegetarian food in Bihar. What was your favorite dish? You can only name one. Don't name too many.
Litti chokha. I had so much litti chokha.
Apart from litti chokha.
Okay. Apart from dahi chura is very good. It's the puffed rice.
Yeah.
And you get it with curd. It's fantastic breakfast.
You know that makhana ka kheer?
Yeah, makhana kheer. Oh,
that's another.
By the way, the hotel where we were staying at, they have a dish which I have never heard of, which is lesun ka kheer. And you can't...
Here you go, Shiv.
Padmaja, it's exceptional. It's not, you don't taste lesun. It's very good.
This has
sounds wrong in so many ways.
It is so good.
That's garlic kheer for you.
So apart from numbers and trends and Bihar politics, it's really nice to see that Veera Raghav has made one. He's actually learned to do something in Bihar. But Akhilesh and Sucharita, what's your favorite dish? What's your favorite?
I enjoyed litti chokha there.
No, this was not made by me.
I was invited for a dinner at Ravi Shankar Prasadji's place, and he insisted that I should have a litti chokha. He's a very good host, and he invited all of us there, and we were there for some, say, 1-2 hours. And
litti mutton khilaya
litti mutton was there, but I didn't eat because I am vegetarian. But I had litti chokha, and I really enjoyed it.
And politicians take a lot of pride in feeding journalists when you go there, right?
And very hospitable. Very, very
They laid out.
Overall, as a state, it's an extremely emotional, welcoming state that's down there.
I'll tell you a story very long ago. I think this was in the 2019 election when I had traveled to Bihar, and we were traveling. And that time, you know, the roads, etc., weren't that well made. So you had to travel long distances. It took very long to even go to places which were close by. And I had gone in a field, and there were some women who were working there, and they literally, in a handkerchief, they had tied some roti and a little bit of sabzi, which was kept like in a polythene. And, you know, I was talking to them, and in the middle of it all, this lady just held up the roti to me, and she's like, "Aap bhi kha lo."
No, do you have a food story from Bihar?
No, I think what happened at Ravi Shankar Prasad's house is exactly what happens in Bihar all over. There are political conversations happening over a chai and over litti chokha and over they're eating and they're talking politics. I think that is what Biharis they completely thrive on. So political conversations over litti chokha stalls all over Bihar is a very, very common sight, and they'll be discussing the next chief minister. They'll be discussing who's going to be in power, whether this government is staying, whether this government is going to be coming back. All those political conversations are happening over tea everywhere.
So you see, Manoranjan Bharati right next to Hotel Maurya took me early morning to get sattu drink, which he also makes here. It's a fantastic masala drink in the morning.
And it is a super energy drink.
I made the mistake of talking about sattu first, and then I made the mistake of asking the guy who was making sattu, "Kaun jeetega? Who would you like to give sattu in these elections?" He immediately said Lalu Prasad Yadav. The guy behind, who was standing right behind, he turned around and said, No, Nitish Kumar. And then the whole conversation over sattu went on for about 5-7 minutes.
I just want to add one thing. Apart from the conversation around chai, sattu and litti, there are very important conversations in Bihar that take place over pan, bhaiya. The pan is
a universal reason we couldn't have pan here.
So pan is very important, and there is a place, a shop where Lalu Prasad Yadav used to go. So we did a segment there, and it's a fantastic segment where people you can barely understand what they are saying, but pan will be in their mouth.
No, but this is also very interesting. What are people really talking about Lalu Prasad Yadav? We've heard a lot of conversations about Tejasvi Yadav, but because you all have been for so long, you know, Ankit, you've been there for so long. What are people really talking about Lalu Prasad Yadav in these elections? I mean, he's obviously taken a back seat, but is he as relevant as he was earlier?
See, I don't know about relevant, but his baggage is on Tejasvi Yadav is heavier than 20 years of anti-incumbency that Nitish Kumar has had. But having said that, move out of Patna, go to these villages. There, we forget, you know, there is and in the narratives, usually it just becomes about Jungle Raj and all. You will still find people, those who take him as God, who change the social dynamics of that state. For a lot of people who come from the extremely backward, impoverished, you know, sections, for them, the change that Lalu Prasad Yadav, especially in his first, you know, government, brought, they have been incredible. For them, you know, I went to a village where a woman told me that Jungle Raj, and I was talking to her about that, said, वो सब तो है, लेकिन आपको पता नहीं है, पहले चप्पल उठा के जो अपर कास्ट का घाव है, हम वहाँ से जा नहीं सकते थे. लालू के राज में हम चप्पल पहनना सीख गए. So we, you know, it's just not one shade to Lalu Prasad.
Lalu Prasad is an extremely polarizing figure even now. He evokes very different memories for very different people, and it'll depend on your caste. You know, when you speak about Laluji, if you're a Yadav, there will be respect. There will be ki bhai, we had, and it's true, you know, for a certain section of people, it was about political representation and empowerment. Remember, before the 70s, the Congress was in power. It was an upper caste. It was a Brahmin Bhumihar government that they were running with a little bit of representation from the OBCs or the non-Yadav OBCs and practically no EBCs. The OBCs in particular and Yadavs felt that they got representation. But if you speak, that is also the time, by the way, that once the Janta Dal and subsequently the RJD in particular started gaining ground, the 90s, you see the figures, there was a flight of people. And this was actually not just Palayan, this was an exodus. And there's data to show that, I won't call it caste atrocities, but you speak to people in the villages here, they will say, if you are not just strong views, they will talk about how there was a reverse discrimination of sorts. And they said, हमने तो अपना भाई बस्ता बांध करके, हमने तो अपने बच्चों को बाहर भेज दिया, because we realized, because we are Bhumihar, because we are Brahmin, हमारे लिए बिहार में कोई future नहीं. Kidnapping used to happen. By the way, there was a very famous incident, and Atalji was the Prime Minister. He had gone to campaign and he had said, मेरा किसलय मुझे लौटा दो. A young boy was captured. The upper caste, people who were even slightly landed, who were educated, started feeling a sense of siege, and they left. And that is something that they talk about. I think that was just institutionalized in their memory. They still talk
You've
about
seen that as well, Sucharita, on the ground.
I think, yes, and very, very importantly, that a lot of people and people who are Biharis staying outside Bihar, when they've gone back for voting, this is something that they really say, that there may be a lot of discussions around unemployment, a lot of discussions around berozgari, paper leak, but eventually when a voter will go and vote, the vote will be on caste. Now that is a very, very important thing. People who are educated, people who are apparently going to be voting on Vikas, on development, even them saying that the vote is going to be on caste, because this the entire unemployment and paper leak may be a part of a lot of discussions, but will not boil down to when it comes to voting.
Just to broaden all the points that you guys are making, this is not a Bihar unique phenomenon. If you take the JDS in Karnataka, it's a Vakaliga Muslim combination. So you see, it's not caste. Let me, I mean, as an outsider, while it gets defined in caste, this is an old world Janata socialist politics that's still in existence here. This is Mandal era politics that continues to go on because of Lalu Yadav and the RJD's
correct me if I'm wrong.
Hang on, one second, let me finish. Look, you know, so this is largely the last election, and I think Bihar is in the cusp of some kind of a change. The old world, two regional parties, two regional leaders defining an election in Bihar as the reason why there is these social coalitions. It's not just the Yadav caste, it's the MY combination or the social coalitions which have identified with one leader in terms of the social justice movement that existed around the 90s.
That is actually the kind of flavor that I wanted to explore for us on NDTV, and I think we've done that for the first time by sending you into Bihar. Okay, the Namaskaram Bihar angle for us here was to look at it from an outsider's perspective, because, you know, for a vast majority of even reporters, I will speak for even on behalf of political reporters, Bihar is Lalu and Nitish. And there are so many layers to the politics over there.
Correct. So, for instance,
is it an end? Is it the end of
I think this is definitely, you see, the only way, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not I don't know much of Bihar. I must make that confession. As long as the JDU and the RJD exist, the BJP cannot become a party on its own with a majority in Bihar. Much like the AIDMK and DMK in Tamil Nadu. Two regional parties, it's very difficult for the BJP. A. B. This is a transition election from the Nitish Lalu era to the next era. Now, I believe there will be a flux in Bihar over the next 5 years, determining who is going to be that charismatic leader who can fill the vacuum that will be left behind by these two great leaders.
There's already a discussion,
just to point
I
out
think.
On that matter, because see, as far as the RJD is concerned, the leadership issue is settled.
Absolutely.
Tejas Yadav is undisputed leader in RJD. You were talking about Lalu Prasad Yadav, though he was missing from the posters and slogans of the RJD and Mahagathbandhan, but he was very much active in the backdrop. If you had seen the pictures while he was distributing, the symbols to the candidates, that was the turning point of this election, because BJP always brought Lalu Yadav to remind people of the Jungle Raj. So the Mahagathbandhan in the last election very cleverly did not play the Lalu card. They kept him in the backdrop. This time also they kept him in the backdrop, but the BJP, the way they used the katta, word. See,
but is Tejasvi powerful enough to replace a Lalu Yadav as charismatic?
He's as charismatic as Lalu Yadav because people see him in the image of Lalu Yadav. He behaves like him, he talks like him. So that way,
and Akhilesh sir, he has been able to move from the rustic Lalu Yadav to also have some appeal in the younger generation. See, one thing like Veera was saying, the change. You are right. The leadership in RJD is defined. The next election, 2029. Think of the leaders who will be fighting this election. There will be a Tejasvi Yadav.
Yes.
There will be a Chirag Paswan. The question would be for the Bharatiya Janata Party, who is going to be
their leader.
The guys who possibly know it much better are also there in Patna.
Who's going to be in line for the JDU?
In the last election, Tejasvi
Who
was
after
wearing
Nitish
kurta
Kumar?
pajama. In this election, he was wearing T-shirts. So there's a lot of focus on that because he wanted to attract that young voters, the youth voters. Whether it has worked or not, we have to see it tomorrow.
But a very funny thing happened. I had gone to this Mahua, and where I thought that at least among the Yadav voters there would be some anger about what happened to Tej Pratap. But it actually solidified Tejasvi's position, where people said, "Ab dekhiye, ab theek hai, bhai bhai to hai, par." अब देखिए ना अनुशासन तो होना होगा. So it actually worked for Tejasvi Yadav to have expelled his brother from the party.
We are being unfair to our friends in Patna.
Quickly. I just wanted to add one more point here, which is as far as the Muslim vote. I was talking to an RJD leader yesterday who said this time AIMIM will not be that big a problem because we went to the ground and the narrative that was put is who has Z category security, which is Asad Owaisi, and who are the Muslim leaders who have been put into jail. So look, you determine who you are.
That was very brave of Tejasvi Yadav to say that Owaisi is an extremist.
So that's
our friends in Patna, Vasudha, you're going to need lots of cups of chai from, I don't know what, 4:30 in the morning tomorrow. We've had a little bit of chai over here. I hope you've got the supply ready. 4:30 a.m. onwards, all of you are going to be on the field.
Absolutely, Shiv. We have the litti and the chokas and of course lots of chai here. But talking about Lalu Prasad Yadav as a polarizing figure, Baba is here with me. Baba, we do agree that, Lalu Prasad Yadav was, he helped in consolidation of OBCs. That breaking of monopoly of upper caste was important at that time. But he's also seen as somebody who, in some ways, emboldened elements who also perpetrated violence. लेकिन ये ऐसा स्टेट है जिसमें भोला पासवान शास्त्री भी बने हैं, कर्पूरी ठाकुर भी बने हैं, तो इन सम वेज बिहार हैज प्रेजेंटेड अ मॉडल ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस. डू यू थिंक 2025 विल आल्सो सेट स्टैंडर्ड्स फॉर दैट?
देखिए, वहाँ पे बहुत लिट्टी चोखा की बात हो रही है स्टूडियो में, और मैं लिट्टी चोखा यहाँ पे खा रहा हूँ, और मैं अपने लिए नहीं खा रहा हूँ, ये वीर राघव के लिए खा रहा हूँ. वीरा, दिस इज फॉर यू. तुमको इतना खिलाया है तो मैंने सोचा कि वहाँ नहीं भेज सकता हूँ, तुम्हारे लिए खा रहा हूँ. जहाँ तक आपने लालू यादव की बात की ना, लालू यादव को आप कितना भी बुरा कर लीजिए, लालू यादव ने जो सोशल चेंज किया ना बिहार में, वो पीढ़ियों तक याद किया जाएगा. इससे डिनाई नहीं है. समझ गए? वो जो चप्पल वाली बात अभी स्टूडियो में हो रही थी ना, वो सच्चाई है. आप किसी भी दलित, लोअर ओबीसी, उससे पूछिए. और आज के दिन भी देखिए, आयरनी क्या है, 20 साल बाद भी, नीतीश जी के शासन के बाद भी आप लालू यादव का डर दिखा करके वोट मांग रहे हैं. इससे बड़ा आयरनी क्या होगा बिहार में, सोच लीजिए.
लेकिन जब औरतें कहती हैं कि 10 रुपए तक हम अपने पास नहीं रख सकते, सर वो एक रियल डर तो है ना लोगों में.
नहीं, अब नहीं है डर. वो अब नहीं है.
Right in saying Lalu Yadav hasn't campaigned in this entire
वही तो
election,
कहीं नहीं है.
but from every dais of NDA, every public platform, Lalu Yadav was talked about, he was discussed, and as he said, आप लालू यादव का डर दिखा के वोट मांग रहे हैं.
मैं बस एक पॉइंट ऐड करूंगी, जो बात प्रभाकर के यहाँ पर कह रहे हैं. देखिए, जब फर्स्ट फेज की वोटिंग हुई उस समय लालू यादव ने एक्स पर पोस्ट किया कि तवे पर रोटी पलटती रहनी चाहिए. और देखिए, ये वो मैसेजिंग है जो अपने कोर वोटर को, अपने कोर वोट बैंक को तो देते ही है, लेकिन साथ ही साथ बिहार की जनता के लिए भी है. अब लालू यादव की जितनी यहाँ पर चर्चा हुई, तेजस्वी यादव के लिए एक चैलेंज ये था कि जंगल राज वाला जो अटैक उन पर बार बार किया जा रहा है उससे अलग निकलना है. तो उन्होंने बड़ा वेल प्लान डिसीजन लिया कि पोस्टर्स में सीधे इकलौते तेजस्वी दिखाई दिए बिहार के नायक के रूप में, जो उनके लिए मोटे मोटे अक्षरों में लिखा गया. तेज प्रताप यादव से भी उनको खुद को अलग करना पड़ा. क्यों? क्योंकि लाइबिलिटी अपने कंधों पर लेकर नहीं चलना चाहते थे. तो देखिए, बड़े वेल प्लान कठिन फैसले लिए हैं उन्होंने परिवार के लिहाज से. अब सवाल फिर वही है कि तेजस्वी के लिए ये इलेक्शन ना हुआ तो भी लालू नहीं रहेंगे, नीतीश भी नहीं रहेंगे, रामविलास पासवान नहीं है.
तो है ही उसी का.
उनके रेलेवेंस की बात हो रही थी स्टूडियो में, वसुधा. ही इज रेलेवेंट इवन फॉर हिज पॉलिटिकल ओपोनेंट्स, लाइक एवरीबॉडी हियर अग्रीज, एंड आल्सो फॉर हिज ओन पार्टी, फॉर हिज ओन सन. लालू हैं तो तेजस्वी आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. सो दैट इज द वे फॉर द
नहीं, लालू यादव ने अपना जो बैटन थमा दिया है और पूरी आजादी दी गई तेजस्वी को। पूरा
this election
so Tejasvi is also trying to in some ways not really bank on that image. That means that model was not right, isn't it? That RJD model of empowerment could have been right maybe 50%, but 50% it did instill fear in people.
There were flaws in it, no doubt about it. That's the reason why they are out of power for last 20 years. So nobody is saying that that model was a perfect model.
ऐसे models बाकी states में तो हुए हैं ना सर।
इतनी चर्चा हो रही थी स्टूडियो में, and I must intervene before you continue with this. Litti Chokha was being discussed in the studio while we have the live counter here and we have people from Bihar who will explain us in detail.
Yeah, what is this thing?
Jainendra, you have had too many.
बाबा explain करने में 2 खा चुका है and बाबा
चलिए बताइए, चलिए नेशनल व्यूअर को ये बताइए, tell us. लिट्टी चोखा कैसे खाया था? हाउ डू वी?
देखिए, ये पहले तो आप समझ लीजिए, ये लिट्टी जो है वो लिट्टी नहीं है, आग वाली लिट्टी नहीं है। ये लिट्टी जो है ये फ्राई वाली लिट्टी है, बट इसके अंदर भी सत्तू होता है। तो ये जो कन्वेंशनल लिट्टी जिसकी हम बात करते हैं वो चूल्हे पे मतलब कोयले पे आग पे सेका जाता है, वो लिट्टी होती है, या गोईठे पे सेका जाता है। उसके अलावा ये देखिए चोखा नहीं है, उसके अलावा ये देखिए इसके साथ जो है, आप उसे रख दीजिए, समझ गया। उसके साथ जो है ये मिर्ची और ये जो है घुगनी, मतलब ये चने की होती है, ये घुगनी आलू के साथ ये सब्जी बनती है। इसके साथ
इसके अंदर जो फिलिंग है वो सत्तू जो हर न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट का
इसके अंदर भी चना है। सुनिए,
लेकिन मेरी एक आपत्ति है, लिट्टी चोखे को इतना प्रमोट किया गया है, बाकी बिहार का जो बाकी फूड है ना वो इसमें नजरअंदाज हो गया है।
इसे खाया कैसे जाता है, इसके लिए हमारे इन हाउस एक्सपर्ट मनोरंजन भारती ये 3rd लिट्टी है इनका,
मास्टर शेफ स्टाइल बाबा ईटिंग लिट्टी चोखा।
In fact, Madhuri Dixit apparently gets lots of packets of
sattu drink, sattu मिर्ची मिठाई, सत्तू हर जगह है।
इसके अंदर भी चना है और ये सब्जी भी चना की है। चना खाइए, प्रोटीन है। सुबह 1 गिलास सत्तू पीजिए, काम पे चलते बढ़िए।
देखिए बाबा को।
चलिए वसुधा, so that's what all the
to an end to this episode of Chai Stop. I'm here with Mr. Litti, who's also making chai for all of us very kindly. Wonderful steaming hot chai in these early winter days here in the national capital. The action, of course, is where Vasudha and all my amazing NDTV friends on the ground are. But as we fuel up for tomorrow, any last words, guys, before we get back to work? I mean, this is work, even though it doesn't really look like it, I have to say. But what are you going to be looking forward to most tomorrow, Sucheta?
Extremely exciting day. I think we've all been working all this while, looking forward to the election results. Now, I think the people as well, the ones who've been watching us, I think they're looking forward to the results. Let's see, is it going to be a return of Nitish Kumar is what I'm looking at, and after a work of 2 decades, is it going to be actually a pro-incumbency that we've talked about?
One thing is certain in Bihar, it is going to be return of Nitish Kumar. किसके साथ होगा ये guarantee नहीं है.
Nitish सबके हैं. The one thing that will be very
as I say that बारात किसी की भी हो,
दूल्हा वही है.
I love that calling him Palturam doesn't matter in Bihar.
No, actually, Tejas Yadav said that NDA का मतलब हो गया है no दूल्हा available. You know, Bihar is amazing when it comes to political slogans. It's the best. But
my advice would be that there should not be any early celebration. Yeah. They should wait for the results to come.
So, you know, this is going to be interesting in the sense, once we discussed that there could be individuals who could lose out, both from the Mahagathbandhan and within the ruling party. 2, there could be some very big faces who could see their political fortunes turning. And it could be, because everyone's talking about Mahagathbandhan में लड़ाई है, NDA के अंदर भी काफी विभीषण बैठे हुए हैं, वो किसका काम लगा रहे हैं, वो भी बहुत interesting होगा. So you could see some big friendly fight है, but वो बड़ा apparent friendly fight नहीं है, वो बड़ा जो कहते हैं ना मीठी छुरी friendly fight हो रही है वहाँ.
No, I want to ask all you guys, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, are we going to continue talking about who's going to be the Dula, whether it's going to be this, or you believe that we're going to have a categorical, clear election result?
No, it's a very interesting question, Veera, because this is an open thing. Even if JDU comes and the BJP wins, whether Nitish Kumar will continue or not, it remains to be seen. Because
it's going to be a long
Veera, 2 days.
We need to keep having more and more Litti Chokha.
Whatever the result is, for 2 days you'll keep hearing suddenly Lalu ji ne Nitish ji ko phone kiya, koi kisi se milkar aaya. This will keep
you'll get headlines like Nitish Kumar sends emissary to greet Lalu Yadav. Was so and so seen getting out of Circular Road and going to Anemarg?
I have one existential question to ask Shiv. DK Shivkumar and Siddharamaiah are going to be here on the 15th. Are we going to be live on Game of Thrones or Game of Thrones in Bihar?
I was hoping for a clear weekend maybe, but it doesn't look like it. But out of the question. And from Bihar to Karnataka, Veeraraghav is going to be jumping between the Games of Thrones. But that's the way we love it. Here on NDTV, we thrive on bringing you the news. The chai and the flavors of Bihar are something it is our pride to bring to you. And Mr. Litti, thank you very much, sir. धन्यवाद. आप भी होंगे हमारे कवरेज में.
छपरा से कौन जीत रहा है? ये तो छपरा के रहने वाले मिस्टर लिट्टी.
छपरा से हम लोग का गड़खा विधानसभा क्षेत्र पड़ता है.
हाँ.
परसा गड़खा. हाँ. तभी बहुत क्रिटिकल स्थिति है और एनडीए की वहाँ पे बचाई जा रही है.
देखिए
चलो आप लिट्टी चोखा स्टॉल वहाँ खोलेंगे. मिस्टर लिट्टी वाला बैंगलोर में खोलेंगे.
Done. And you will be a partner in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
आप में
I'll be the eating partner. You be the working partner. I'll be the eating partner.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Remember that depending on how things go tomorrow, I think Ankit, Padmaja, Veera, you might all have to head back to Patna also.
I hope you have Litti in the studio tomorrow.
Everything will be there in the studio.
Monday I'm back to Baswangudi for Idli Vada Sambar. I can't take this anymore.
6 a.m. tomorrow. And it is my pride. It is a tribute to NDTV's incredible elections coverage legacy that reporters who've come in from the ground, soaking up the flavors and the mood of Bihar, will be fronting our coverage with Rahul Kaval from 6 a.m. tomorrow here on NDTV 24/7. Thanks for being with us here at the Chai Stop. The news, as always, continues on the other side.
The most coveted invitation in the Indian corporate golf calendar, where top corporates go head-to-head with the finest professional golfers. An exclusive circuit across multiple cities, aspirational, unforgettable. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am, is here. The course of champions, the conversation of leaders. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, coming soon. Stay tuned.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right, Center.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
मजे को दुगुना करना है, मजे को 3 गुना करना है. गाजी, रोहन, come on side.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. And now, Aditya Raj Kaul begins a new chapter at NDTV.
Actually, I'm taking off because the stories I cover don't sit still. To bring the world to India and to take India to the world, I need to be where action is.
Aditya Raj Kaul covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
The best app to use is the NDTV app.
दुनिया भर में जब भी भारतीय मीडिया की चर्चा होती है तो एनडीटीवी सबसे पहले जिक्र में आता है।
मैं आपका बात से सहमत हूं, उल्टे हम भी जब विदेश जाते हैं, द बेस्ट ऐप टू यूज इज द एनडीटीवी ऐप।
The battle.
Big news coming in of the Enforcement Directorate, the ED, to probe the Falah University funding. The top government sources have spoken to NDTV saying that government has ordered the ED to probe into the funding as far as the University of Falah is concerned. Financial investigation agencies have swung into action with the government there asking for a forensic audit of the accounts of the Falah University. The Economic Offences Wing has also been asked to look into the functioning of the Falah University in Faridabad. The NIA has already been probing the Delhi blast. Now it's the ED and also the Economic Offensive Wing that has joined the probe. Anushka joining us. Anushka, of course, after the NIA, now it is the Enforcement Directorate getting involved as well. Take us through the details that you have for us of this breaking news on the issue of the Red Fort.
Now we are seeing that, after the meeting that happened at Home Ministry, the ED is going to take over the probe and is in fact also going to probe the functionality of the university, the funding, all the financial details and financial trials is right now under the scanner. The ED has also joined this investigation now. So we are seeing all the elite investigating agencies have now joined hands and are in fact looking after the trials of, and also functionality of the Falah University. Also, one big update has come in that the administrators of Falah University have taken down the website of Falah University. We had reported that once it was hacked and now it is out of service and the whole website has been taken down. This is the visuals of Falah University. Now we are seeing all the elite agencies of our country have now joined hands. In this probe, we have seen NIA who's leading this investigation, after which we have seen also the Economic Offences Wing have also in fact joined hands with the ED, and they will be in fact conducting this whole investigation at the Falah University about how the financial trials were, because what we are seeing is that there was Shaheen also the main suspect here, at which who is in fact right now being investigated by the agency. She has been collecting the funds and financial help with the foreign handlers of them, and they had been in fact buying all those chemicals and all those explosives. We are seeing that now the financial body, probe body has in fact also now joined the probe. We are seeing that the ED will be investigating how the funding was coming in, who all were the people who were funding Falah University, because this was established by a trust, Falah Trust, and after that we have seen that the university was in fact functioning. We have seen that the NAC has also given a show for
Anushka, we have more breaking news coming in on this very the doctor module of the terror attack that took place in the Red Fort area on Monday, the Delhi terror blast case. The teams of the Haryana police and the Delhi police both have arrived at the Falah University headquarters. Do remember that the university is in Faridabad, but the headquarters are here in Delhi's Okhla, the industrial area. So that is where the Haryana cops and the Delhi cops have reached. In order to know more on this, we have my colleague Adeel Rather joining us. Adeel, take us through the details that you have for us, because of course we do know that the university is in Faridabad, but these are the headquarters of the university. And take us through, of course, the founder and the managing trustee of the Falah University in Faridabad, which employed 2 or 3 of these main suspects. We're talking about Dr Shaheed as well as Dr Shakeel.
Well, that's right. That's the big development we are breaking at this hour. A joint team of Delhi Police and Haryana Police has reached the headquarters of the Falah University in Okhla area of New Delhi. While the university is in Faridabad, Haryana, the headquarters of the Falah group of companies is in Okhla. So the joint team of Delhi Police and Haryana Police has reached there. They are going to investigate further because the entire epicenter of this entire conspiracy of the Jaish-e-Mohammad doctors module, the syndicate that's been busted by by the J&K police and later by the Haryana police, Delhi police, and of course the NIA is very crucial. So what the Delhi police and the Haryana police will now go through is the documentation of the Al-Falah University, the background of Al-Falah University, the details about the founders of the Al-Falah University, and why they had emphasis on the Kashmir Valley, on a particular group of people who were given a free run. They were using Al-Falah University as almost like a base camp for their terror activities. In fact, the building number 14 and room number 13 within the Al-Falah University campus was critical to the investigation because that's where the secret meetings were held. There are diaries that have been collected by the Haryana police and the NIA in this where the entire operation details in coded language has been mentioned. There's a lot of ammunition that's been also recovered from the Al-Falah University. What has also parallelly happened is that the Enforcement Directorate and several other wings of the government, including the Economic Offences Wing of the Delhi Police, will be taking investigation forward to see the financial trails of the Al-Falah University, whether there is any kind of a foreign funding or a dubious funding that is being received by Al-Falah. The owner of Al-Falah, Siddiqui, will be under scanner as well because there are quite a few elements within the Al-Falah University that have been linked to the Delhi bomb blast and also to the overall Jaish conspiracy of this terror attack. So it's a major development coming in even as the investigation into the Delhi bomb attack continues and overall conspiracy is unearthed by multiple agencies including the NIA, Delhi police, the Haryana police and the J&K police. Right. Now attention shifting completely to the Al-Falah Trust and the Al-Falah group of companies which are now under scanner for misleading
the founder,
activities.
The managing trustee as well. Yes, well, of course, thank you, Aditya. And of course, what has been established so far is how it was the hub as far as the lab is concerned, that room number 13 in building number 17 of the Al-Falah University where those bombs were being made. We're going to keep tracking that story and getting you more details. Thank you, Aditya, for joining us. With that, we're slipping into a short break. News continues on the other side.
Pulling us
other opposition parties. They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Namaste, India. As you all know, I've been traveling around the world with my music. But this one is truly special. Something that's India. You all must have seen the magic that was created in Kun Fayakun. Now it's your chance to experience it with me. So book your tickets from District app and together let's create harmony of hearts. See you, Delhi.
We unveil NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am, the boast of champions, the conversation of leaders.
And what a stellar lineup we have here on the stage of the NDTV World Summit to announce the launch of the NDTV Pro-Am. Arguably India's greatest cricketer, one of India's most distinguished bureaucrats, a top international golfer and also a top Indian pro at the moment, one administrator who is doing more to lift the profile of Indian golf than anyone has in the recent years.
All the top champions, the Tiger Woods, will all come from India in future.
It's great to be here. Golf is growing across the globe and here in India as well.
Whereas now the opportunities are increasing a lot.
Thank you very much. You're starting golf. We want to thank you.
That's very sweet of you. Thank you.
I think that's very, very important.
The most coveted invitation in the Indian corporate golf calendar, where top corporates go head-to-head with the finest professional golfers. An exclusive circuit across multiple cities, aspirational, unforgettable. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am is here. The course of champions, the conversation of leaders. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, coming soon, stay tuned.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindoor.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
मजे को दुगुना करना है, मजे को 3 गुना करना है। गाजी, रोहन, रोहन से।
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and
A very good afternoon. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Divya Vadva. We have news coming in regard to the Red Fort blast, where the ED is now going to be involved in the probe as far as the Falah University's funding is concerned. We'll get you details of the phase-wise attack that was being planned and how 6th of December was the date that they were planning on attacking not just one location but multiple locations. And the cars that were involved, apparently they were going to use about 32 cars in attacks that were being planned in various parts of Delhi. We're going to get you details first. The headlines. Government sources tell NDTV that the ED is now going to be involved in the probe as far as the Falah University's funding is concerned. The government has asked for forensic audit of the university's accounts. The Economic Offences Wing will also be included. More murky details emerge on the Falah University. Major conspiracy has been hatched in a room. This is room number 13 of the 17. This is the building number 17 of the Falah University. A large quantity of explosives had been purchased with the aim of preparing 32 vehicles for attacks in various parts of the national capital. And in new details emerging of the Jaish-e-Mohammad women, there was a women wing that was being planned in India under the leadership of Dr Shaheed. Sources are saying that Masoor Azhar's nephew's wife, Afra Bibi, was in touch with the accused, who is in the custody of the police. This is Dr Shaheed, who was from the Falah University. NDTV accesses Jaish-e-Mohammad's multi-phase plot to target Delhi. It was a Babri Masjid link that has now emerged as far as the 10-11 conspiracy is concerned. They were planning to attack on the 6th of December, and the demolition of the Babri Masjid was the date that was planned by the attackers. And the opposition that is demanding the resignation of Ajit Pawar over the Pune land deal scam. This after his son was named in the scam. Ajit is now saying that he is using his conscience in order to decide whether he should resign or not. A very good afternoon. Let's start with the breaking news, and this is in regard to the top government sources speaking to NDTV have confirmed that the Enforcement Directorate, the ED, is now going to be involved in probing as far as the funding of the Falah University is concerned. Financial investigation agencies have swung into action. We're talking about the Economic Offences Wing also that has been asked to look into the functioning of the Falah University. Do remember, the NIA is already involved in the investigation, and now the ED and the Enforcement. We're talking about the EOW will also now be joining the probe. Spread over 70 acres, the Falah University is a private institution located about less than 30 kilometers from the Delhi-Haryana border. Now, in order to know more on what's going on, we have Adeel Rather joining us. Adeel, of course, now the ED getting involved as well. And this is in regard to the funding of this university. We're talking about, many of the suspects in this case are all from that university, whether it's the man who blew himself up in that car, the I-20, to Dr Shaheed, who was trying to, start this women's wing of the racket here of the Jaish-e-Mohammad here in the national capital. Take us through the details you have.
Well, that's right. That's the big development coming at this hour. The investigation is being widened. NDTV breaking first that the Enforcement Directorate has now swung into action. The Enforcement Directorate has been asked to investigate the financial angle of the Falah University. Now, Falah University is in the center of this entire controversy because that's where, Muzammil and several other key characters in this Jaish terror conspiracy case were. In fact, they were here at the Falah University for 2 to 3 years, including Dr Shaheen, who was the girlfriend of Muzammil, including Umar and Adeel as well. So clearly, at this particular juncture, the investigation and the financial angle to the investigation will be very key to understand why Falah University was the base for this terror recruitment, for this terror conspiracy, for the Delhi bomb blast, but also the wider link to the Jaish-e-Mohammad conspiracy into the terror attacks that they were planning in New Delhi and elsewhere. We are also learning that it's not limited to the Enforcement Directorate, which will conduct a financial audit of the Falah University. It will also be the Delhi Police's Economic Offences Wing that will swing into action, including the financial wing, the Economic Offences Wing of the Haryana Police. So a multi-level probe has been ordered from the Enforcement Directorate to the Economic Offences Wing of the Delhi Police and the Haryana Police looking into Falah University. Already, we have also broken details of a joint team of Delhi Police and Haryana Police that has just reached the headquarters of the Falah group of companies in Okhla area of Delhi, and raids are being conducted there. So multiple level investigation that's underway because, it's a major development that for the first time in 14 years, a massive bomb blast taking place outside the Red Fort. This is the heart of the national capital in many ways. This is the old city, which is usually very crowded with tourists, etc. God forbid, if it was an open day and the Red Fort was not shut, it would have led to mass casualties in this particular stretch of the road, because in that CCTV that NDTV has access of the blast site at Monday evening, you can also access how crowded that area is even on an off day. So as of now, 13 people have been killed and more than 20 injured, but multiple level investigations continue. There are 13 places in Jammu and Kashmir that are being raided also since early morning. Each and every district of the Kashmir Valley where raids are taking shape. Apart from that, there are raids also taking place since yesterday at the Falah University, both by Delhi Police Crime Branch as well as the Haryana Police. The NIA also swinging into action. The missing cars have been recovered, but there are investigations going on because it is being felt that there could be some ammonium nitrate or some chemical traces within that car also that was recovered last evening. But the big development at this hour, Enforcement Directorate and the Economic Offences Wing coming into action. The NIA was already investigating this case. So 3 of the most premier agencies, including NIA, Enforcement Directorate and EOW, will be looking into the Falah University and why it became a base camp for terror recruitment and for terror conspiracy.
Right, absolutely. That car that has, been caught by the police, the red Eco Sport, and another car is a Maruti Brezza that the police is on the lookout for. Thank you so much, Aditya, for getting us details and piecing together as to the investigation and where it really is at. Now, the University of Terror, Falah, is under intense scrutiny. This is where the doctors of terror, Dr. Umar, the alleged suicide bomber, then we also have Dr. Shaheen, the recruiter, Dr. Muzammil, who was nabbed after, what was recovered from him was 2,900 kgs worth of explosives. That is what was recovered from that man. Top government sources have told NDTV that the government has ordered the ED, like we have just confirmed with Aditya. They're telling us and getting us details about how, the financial investigation agencies have swung into action in order to piece together as to the funding of this university is concerned. Now, as far as the terror docs are concerned, in the Faridabad terror module, inside details from the grilling that's taken place of Dr. Shaheen. As far as the NIA sources are concerned, they're saying one more doctor's name has come up, and this is during the questioning of Dr. Shaheen. We're talking about Dr. Farouk, who is under the lens, and that is the breaking news of another name that is emerging. So one more doctor's name that has come up and cropped up during the grilling that has taken place of Dr. Shaheen. The NIA ever since has taken over the investigation of the bomb blast that took place. This is the blast that happened outside the Red Fort area, the terror attack. Well, it is Dr. Farouk, who is from Hapur, who is now under the lens of the NIA. According to sources, Dr. Farouk he has been detained by the agencies. He also studied at the Falah University. So Falah University, the hub of the terror attack. There were multiple attacks that were being planned by all these people who were involved at the Falah University, the capacity, either they were studying there or they were working there. And Akil, my colleague, joining us to get us the very latest on this. Akil, take us through this new name that's cropped up during the investigation.
Absolutely. If you see right now, the NIA investigation is in full swing right now, because what we have been seeing that NIA has got some inputs after the interrogation of Dr. Shaheed. And during the interrogation, she has confessed that she was also in touch with another doctor who hails from Jammu and Kashmir, and her and if you see that person has been identified as Dr. Farouk. When the team basically identified and asked regarding the location, she basically gave the hint to the investigators regarding that he might be present in Hapur. And since early morning, late at night, around 2 a.m., what we have got to learn that the NIA has raided Hapur from one of the locations, and they have basically nabbed this person. And right now, his sustained interrogation is going on. And if you see, not only that, apart from that, what we have been seeing that the links to this very Delhi terror blast case is not just limited to the national capital or into the Delhi NCR range, just Faridabad. What we have been seeing that it has reached to Nuh itself. Right now, we have arrived over here.
Right, Akil, we have more breaking news coming in. Just hold that thought. I will come back to you in minutes from now. Breaking news coming in of the fourth car that has been located by the agencies. Do remember that there are 4 cars that have been involved in the terror plot as far as the Red Fort bombing is concerned. This is Dr. Shaheed's vehicle that has been located. Do remember that the police since yesterday has been on the lookout for the Brezza car, the Maruti Brezza car that has been registered. It was registered in the name of the terror suspect Shaheen, who is being questioned now by the NIA. So now they have managed to locate that car. That is the visual of the car. Do remember that there have been 4 cars that have been involved. One is a car of Shaheen, in which the arms were found to begin with, followed by the I-20 that blew up outside. Yesterday is when they found that red EcoSport, and this is the fourth car that has been involved in the terror plot of the Red Fort bombing. Do remember that there were multiple attacks that were being planned by those involved at the Falah University. People who have been taken in for questioning. At least 52 doctors have been, questioned so far. Tejasvi, we have Tejasvi joining us in order to get us the very latest on this. Tejasvi, the police have in fact from finding that EcoSport car, the red EcoSport car just yesterday, and they've been on the lookout since then for this car, and this car has now also been located.
Well, absolutely not just one car, but multiple cars said to be involved in this entire plan that was that was sketched out by these three doctors. First was I-10, I-20 that we saw, which was used in the blast. Then it was the another car which was recovered yesterday. Investigation is still underway, and now this is the another car, the Brezza car, which was said to be allegedly used by Dr. Shaheen. She is also one of the main conspirators in this entire case. And now what we are also picking up from our sources is that it was Dr. Shaheen only who used to drive this car. The car belongs to her only, and she never used to allow this car to drive to, she never used anyone else to drive this car apart from else. As of now, what we are picking is this is the another vehicle which is entering at the Falah University. That's the Haryana police. Back to back, the forensic teams, the NIA teams, the Haryana police, all the team, the Delhi police team, they are over here at the Falah University, and now the investigation is underway. And if we talk again about that car, then definitely that car is also being scanned now. That what was the purpose? Was there any explosive kept in the car? Where did that car go? And where was that particular at the point of time where the blast took place? Where was the owner of the car? It said that Shaheen, Dr. Shaheen is the only owner as of now of that particular car. But then again, it's being said that it's not just 1, 2 or 3 cars, but multiple cars, multiple owners, or maybe there must be a larger conspiracy behind it who must be involved in this entire game plan. But again, all these things are matter of investigation. As and when the investigation will unfold, the details will be revealed out. But the car is over here only within the campus of the Falah University. And why this car was used? This car was used by Dr. Shaheen to come to the university from her residence. Also remember that the location from where we are reporting right now, that's Falah Hospital. Just few meters from here is the residence of Dr. Muzammil, who is already under investigation and arrested. Just few meters from away is the residence of Maulana Istiaq, who is already been detained. He is also under scanner. He was the one who owned that house. Just few meters away from here is Falah Mosque, and just few meters away is also that particular red car that was recovered yesterday. So if we join the dots, and definitely just few meters away is also that particular place from where they purchased the chemicals. And again, the room number 13 of the Falah Hospital is under the scanner. So all these things, if we join the dots, they are implying or indicating that there is something bigger that they were planning to do. And why everything was being planned in such an outer area, not within the city, which clearly indicates that they never wanted to stay within the access, because they did not leave any kind of digital footprint. They did not want to leave they did not want any kind of scanning to have happened. That is why the PUC of all the vehicles were clearly done, and they also in fact very right, in fact in a very we should say polished way managed to.
Right, not just these 4 cars. From what we are hearing and what we've picked up so far is 32 cars in all were supposed to be involved in attacks that were being planned on the 6th of December, the day the Babri Masjid incident had taken place. And it all started with that Desire car that was seized on Monday, with that assault rifle and ammunition that was found inside the car, and that is where it started. But now the 4th car has been located. This is a car that has been registered in the name of Dr. Shaheen, who is now being questioned by the NIA. Now, following the explosion of that white Hyundai I-20, which was found destroyed near the blast site, NDTV has been tracking the multiple terror cars, not 1 but 4 cars that were used by terrorists to carry out terror operations. First, like we started by saying, a Swift Desire, which was of Dr. Shaheen, which was used by Dr. Muzammil. This car was first seized from where weapons were recovered. Second was the white I-20, which was used in the blast, in which it was Dr. Umar who was parked at the parking lot, the masjid parking lot, for about over 3 hours, 3 hours 10 minutes to be precise, before he left the parking lot. He was seen all over Delhi, especially in Connaught Place and other parts of Delhi. He had visited at least half of Delhi on that very day of the blast. Thirdly, it was a red EcoSport which was found in Faridabad just yesterday. Now, in the latest, the fourth car, the Maruti Brezza that was owned by Shaheen, was originally to be used to carry out the blast. The red EcoSport linked to the bomber, Dr. Umar, was seized by the police. The car was found abandoned at this farmhouse. This was a farmhouse in Haryana's Khandwali village. The NIA managed to track the car with the help of the driver of the terrorist Umar, who blew up that I-20 car near the Red Fort area. According to sources, investigators are suspected that Umar and his team reportedly used the red EcoSport car to transport and to stockpile ammonium nitrate over time. According to investigators, the terror module had conducted multiple recce operations. Sources have added the group was planning multiple serial blasts and was awaiting final orders from its handler when it was busted. And that is what led to Umar to take that car, drive around Delhi. At least half of Delhi was covered. He was parked for 3 hours before he conducted that terror attack that took place in the Chandni Chowk area, the heart of the national capital. Now, the Al-Falah founder is under the scanner. The founder has been booked in the year 2004 fraud. Al-Falah founder was jailed for that cash scam. This is to the tune of 7.5 crore rupees financial scam by the founder of Al-Falah. Now, there were 9 companies that have been registered at least under the trust. This is the Al-Falah Trust. Al-Falah, do remember, is at the center of the terror attack. And at the moment, we do know that we have police not just at the university, but also at the headquarters in Okhla. Tejri joining us in order to get us details of what has really emerged as far as the founder and the trustee of the Al-Falah group is concerned. Take us through the details, Tejri, because this is a person who has been involved in a scam which is to the tune of 7.5 crore rupees. This is a financial scam by the founder, and yet this university was running. Nothing seemed to have been investigated ever since the scam that had emerged years back. And yet this man was going about his business. Take us through now the lens that is basically in regard to the founder, not just people working there or studying there, but also the founder and the trustee as well.
Well, absolutely. Jaish-e-Mohammad Siddiqui is the founder, the owner, the trustee of this entire university. And in fact, we are reporting from this same area. And in fact, what we are also getting to know that not just one, but 9 companies were registered under his name. And interestingly, only few companies were active till 2019. But still, the companies are registered. And I would just quickly read out the names on which these companies are registered. That is Al-Falah Developers, Al-Falah Medical Research, Al-Falah Industrial Research, Education Services, MJ's Developers, Al-Falah Investment, Al-Falah Software, Al-Falah Engineers, Tarbiya Education Foundation, and most of these firms were active till 2019, and that is also as per the official records. So that's a big breaking news, big revelation that we are picking up right now, that this entire university is now under scanner, the financial. In fact, transactions will also be probed and scanned so as to where these 9 companies are, where they are located, and how these are being run by Jaish-e-Mohammad Siddiqui, who is the director, who is the founder. And once again, we will be showing you the visuals from where we are reporting right now. This is the same Al-Falah Hospital. Also remember that it was there in the year 2000, when the FIR was filed, and that was also filed in the national capital. And what are the charges in the FIR against these individuals who is the founder? The charges are section 420 about cheating, charges of section 406 and 409, that is regarding criminal breach of trust. It's also about using the forged documents, and also about the criminal conspiracy. So all these things will be scanned, the case filed against him, and also he was in jail for more than 3 years. We have also in fact accessed the details about the order copy which mentions about he was in jail. He had his bail was rejected, his bail plea was rejected by the Delhi High Court. So these all things will be scanned, that what transactions were made, what all these companies are all about, why was he in jail, what was this case regarding, where did he get the fundings from? Back to you.
Well, the man, Jaish-e-Mohammad Siddiqui, the founder and the managing trustee of the Falah University in Faridabad, employed 2 or 3 of the main suspects. We're talking about Dr Shaheed and as well as Dr Shakeel. The university is facing a separate enforcement-directed investigation into the funding. The NIA is looking into the matter. Siddiqui's vast corporate network and that old criminal case accusing him and an associate, also called Jaish-e-Mohammad, of cheating, criminal breach of trust, using forged documents and criminal conspiracy are among the focal points of this new investigation. Thank you so much, Tejshri, for getting us those details. Let's just also talk about the Falah University in Faridabad. That, of course, as far as the revelation is concerned, we are now seeing a show cause notice has been served to the university for displaying false accreditation on its website. As per the sources, the doctors planned 32 car bombs, a big strike planned for the 6th of December on the anniversary of the Babri Masjid demolition with planned coordination serial blast. The 4th terror car, as we do know, has been found. And all this, of course, in regard to the latest now, that is in regard to the Falah University. Do know that, of course, the police have reached the headquarters in Okhla, but the university in Faridabad also, as far as a show cause notice that has been served, that has been issued to the university for displaying false accreditation, and this was the false accreditation on its website. So, of course, this is really, when we talk about the university, the building number 17, which housed the room number 13, is which really belonged to the terrorist, the terror accused Muzammil. It is a room that the accused doctors met and they hatched the terror plot. As per the sources, the doctors pooled in 26 lakh rupees. This was the cash that was collected and handed over to the man who was driving the I-20. We're talking about the terrorist Umar. Alarming details suggest that planning of attacks in Delhi and Uttar Pradesh, the faculty members allegedly acquired chemicals from the lab at the same university, Falah. They transported that to, of course, other places. And what they really did at the time was they, in fact, had the recruiter Shaheen, who taught at the Falah University, Dr Muzammil Shakeel, who's in fact from whom there was that 2,900 kilograms of explosives that were found. Another key name, Dr Umar, to remember the man who blew up that I-20, and the man connecting these dots, Jamil, the university's recruiter, known to have hired multiple doctors from JNK. In fact, it is Nisar ul Hassan, who was dismissed in 2022 by the JNK administration for posing to be a threat to state security, was reportedly employed by Falah Medical College just last year. With that, we're slipping into a very short break. Back with a whole lot more. We will continue our coverage of the Red Fort terror attack that took place on Monday, with multiple layers now being added and multiple agencies being involved in the probe into the investigation, from the NIA to the ED. Get you all the details on the other side. Government sources are telling NDTV that now the Enforcement Directorate has also been including in the probe. Now, this is the probe that the ED is going to be looking into.
The best app to use is the NDTV app.
दुनिया भर में जब भी भारतीय मीडिया की चर्चा होती है तो एनडीटीवी सबसे पहले जिक्र में आता है।
मैं आपका बात से सहमत हूं, उल्टे हम भी जब विदेश जाते हैं, the best app to use is the NDTV app.
The battle for Bihar is over.
There is a big twist in the tale.
Results ka time aa gael ba.
2 completely different elections were executed on the ground.
NDTV's results countdown begins. November 14th with Rahul Kaval from 6 a.m.
22% gap amongst the women. That's the election right there.
Top team, fastest, first and factual. Blazing fast trends, winners and losers.
There is an exciting counting day that you need to watch. Friday morning, drop what you are doing, sit back, watch NDTV. There will be a contest.
November 14th, results with NDTV.
Other opposition parties.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind. I pause. I reflect. I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Namaste, India. As you all know, I've been traveling around the world with my music. But this one is truly special. Something that's India. You all must have seen the magic that was created in Kun Fayakun. Now it's your chance to experience it with me. So book your tickets from District app, and together let's create harmony of hearts. See you, Delhi.
We unveil NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am, the course of champions, the conversation of leaders.
What a stellar lineup we have here on the stage of the NDTV World Summit to announce the launch of the NDTV Pro-Am. Arguably India's greatest cricketer, one of India's most distinguished bureaucrats, a top international golfer, and also a top Indian pro at the moment. One administrator who's doing more to lift the profile of Indian golf than anyone has in the recent years.
All the top champions, the Tiger Woods, will all come from India in future.
It's great to be here. Golf is growing across the globe and here in India as well.
Whereas now the opportunities are increasing a lot.
Thank you very much. You're starting golf. We want to thank you.
That's very sweet of you. Thank you.
I think that's very, very important.
The most coveted invitation in the Indian corporate golf calendar, where top corporates go head-to-head with the finest professional golfers. An exclusive circuit across multiple cities, aspirational, unforgettable. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am is here. The course of champions, the conversation of leaders. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, coming soon, stay tuned.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right, Center.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine.
Let's get your details coming in of the Jaish-e-Mohammad module that plotted the 10/11 Delhi blast near the Red Fort area. Use encrypted chat apps. Sources have told NDTV that 3 doctors linked to the Falah University, including the man who blew up the I-20, Dr Muzammil and Dr Shaheen, were in constant contact through an encrypted platform called Threema. Now, investigators believe that the trio used the Threema app to plan the coordinated attacks. These are terror attack activities. Now, what makes Threema really different is that it doesn't require a phone number or an email ID even, making users extremely difficult to trace the chat. The app operates through unique user IDs not linked to mobile numbers or SIM cards, and all communication as far as Threema is concerned is end-to-end encrypted, and users can even run it through private servers. Now, sources say that these doctors set up their own private Threema server, which was allegedly used to share very sensitive information, sensitive documents, maps and layouts related to the blast conspiracy in the national capital. Intelligence agency believe that this private Threema network played a crucial role in the planning and also the coordination of the metro blast. Do remember that this was an attack that took place right outside the metro station at the Red Fort area. Investigating teams are now also tracking whether the surface, as far as the server is concerned, that they used was hosted in India or was this hosted abroad. Sources have also added that the app was used to transfer restricted material and coded messages among members of this is the white collar module of the terror attack that took place in the Red Fort area. More chilling, these are chilling details that have emerged on the routes taken by the key accused as far as a man who blew up the I-20, Dr. Umar, terrorist Umar, in the Delhi bomb blast case. NDTV has assessed a new CCTV visual showing that it was Umar who was walking towards the mosque near the gate. These visuals were from the same day as that of the blast. The police have accessed CCTV footage from nearly 50 different locations. We're talking about not one, not two, but 50 different locations, painting a very disturbing picture of the final moments of the man who finally blew up that I-20 car after remaining parked for 3 hours in the parking lot of the masjid. Now, from Mewat to Firozpur, from Dhabas and onto the Delhi-Mumbai Expressway. Meanwhile, sources have also confirmed that it was Dr. Umar belonging to the Falah University to be the prime accused, and that has been confirmed through DNA testing. Do remember that his mother and 2 of his brothers' DNA was taken in order to match with the DNA. This included his teeth, his clothes and whatnot. And there has been a 100% DNA match. That match was made with samples from his own family, ending all speculation revolving about the involvement and the identity of the person behind the wheel. Now, details have also emerged as far as the other suspect, Dr. Shaheen, who is being questioned by the NIA. The woman doctor arrested from Kanpur, who was allegedly tasked with setting up the terror outfit for the women's wing in India. As per sources, she was receiving funds from Jaish-e-Mohammad, in constant touch also with the chief, Masoor Azhar's sister. Masoor Azhar's sister was in constant touch with this woman. The woman who was arrested, to remember, she has been detained. She was the one who was found with the arms in her car. There is another car which is registered in her name that has now been traced and tracked and located. We're talking about that Maruti Brezza that has been located as well. Now, it is Masoor Azhar. He is one of the key masterminds of the 26/11 attacks. His sister was in constant touch. Sources are saying that she was involved in opening recruitment centers, and this was being opened for with the women's wing at various locations in western Uttar Pradesh, including Saharanpur. Investigating agencies have in fact said that she was using funds to purchase explosives and for recce. Do remember that she was taking funds in the name of, name as far as this included poor women, in the name of education. In fact, the latest information also indicates that Dr. Shaheen was also in touch with Afra Bibi, who is the wife of the nephew of the Jaish-e-Mohammad chief, Masood Azhar. Now, Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister has made a big statement as far as the Red Fort blast is concerned. He said that it's not fair to, call every Kashmiri Muslim a terrorist, and that educated people have been linked to terror in the past as well. While Omar Abdullah has condemned the terror incident, he said that no religion allows the killing of innocent people. Listen in.
जम्मू कश्मीर का हर बाशिंदा आतंकवादी नहीं है। जम्मू कश्मीर का हर बाशिंदा आतंकवादियों के साथ भी नहीं है। ये चंद लोग हैं जिन्होंने हमेशा यहाँ अमन और भाईचारे को बिगाड़ने की कोशिश की है। बदकिस्मती से जब हम हर जम्मू कश्मीर के बाशिंदे को और बिलखसूस हर कश्मीरी मुसलमान को एक ही नजरिए से देखना शुरू करते हैं और ये तासुर देना शुरू करते हैं कि हर कश्मीरी मुसलमान जो है वो आतंकवादी है। ये कहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है कि पढ़े लिखे लोग जो हैं वो इन चीजों में नहीं पढ़ते हैं। मैं तो हैरान इस बात से हूं कि उसको इन चीजों के लिए नौकरी से निकाला गया था, लेकिन उसके बाद कौन सी इन्वेस्टिगेशन हुई? नौकरी से तो आपने निकाला, लेकिन कार्रवाई क्या हुई?
Well, we have Adeel Rather, my colleague, joining us to get us the very latest. We just heard Umar Mohammad saying that everyone should not be looking at Kashmiri Muslims as terrorists, and not every Kashmiri Muslim is a terrorist. And also in the past, there have been educated people who have been linked to terror, because of course it does require a certain amount of, the person needs to be very, very smart to basically carry out these attacks in the first place.
Well, that's right. There have been certainly many cases in the past where educated people, doctors, engineers, PhDs have been involved with groups like Ansar Ghazwatul Hind, Hizbul Mujahideen, Lashkar-e-Toiba and Jaish-e-Mohammad. But the Chief Minister of J&K now bringing in and poking in religion into a kind of a political debate at this juncture when the investigation is on, and there should be national unity against terrorism and certainly against the perpetrators of this violence. They are terrorists, certainly. Nobody has branded, every Kashmiri as a terrorist. Certainly, I am a Kashmiri and I'm reporting here at the Red Fort. But the big question here is that the political class must unite as well against terrorism, be it Umar Abdullah's National Conference, Mehbooba Mufti's PDP, or for instance the BJP and the Congress as well. This is the time to show that there is national unity, and also at the same time the nation stands together against the perpetrators and with the victims of terror, the 13 people who have been killed and more than 20 who are injured. So there has been deliberate politics also brought into this terror attack in Delhi, one of the most brutal ones in the last 14 years. Earlier in the day we had statements from some Congress leaders in Karnataka as well. There has been a controversy on the statement by former Home Minister P. Chidambaram, and now Umar Abdullah saying that every Kashmiri Muslim should not be branded as a terrorist. But it's a reality that most of the masterminds and the perpetrators of the Delhi bombing are Kashmiri Muslims.
Right. Aditya, hold that thought. We're coming back to you. We have breaking news coming in at the moment, and this is in regard to that car, that suspicious Maruti Brezza car at the Falah University that's now being probed by the J&K police. This is the bomb squad. They're moving in, and those are, we just get you visuals of that suspicious Brezza car at the Falah University being probed by the Jammu and Kashmir police, and the bomb squad there as well. That's the breaking news coming in. So the fourth car involved in the terror activities that took place in the lead up to the Red Fort attack. This is the fourth car. This is at the Falah University. The Brezza car, the Maruti Brezza car that was also used. Do remember that this has been registered in the name of Dr Shaheed, who is now being questioned by the NIA. The NIA has now gotten involved. The ED has also gotten involved in regard to the funding of the Falah University. So now the fourth car in this whole mix of, do remember that the plan was to use 32 vehicles in all. So these are the 4 vehicles that have now been located so far. This includes the I-20 car that was blown up right outside the Red Fort area. This obviously started with that Swift Desire car in which the arms and ammunitions were found, which belong again to Dr Shaheed, and followed by the red Eco Sport car that was found just yesterday, and within 24 hours the fourth car has also been located. Rahesha, my colleague, joining us to get us details. Rahesha, break it down for us. It all started with the white Desire, and now we're on the car number 4, but perhaps there are more cars involved, because the plan was to involve 32 cars in all.
Right, Divya. Just 15 to 20 minutes back, the bomb squad entered the Falah University right behind me with the Haryana police there. The NIA is already present there, but the bomb squad entered the Falah University there to perhaps check Dr Shaheed's Brezza car, which has also now come under the scanner after the Hyundai I-20. And this is perhaps the third car which is located inside the Falah University. The latest coming in is, of course, that the bomb squad now has entered the university. to check Dr. Shaheen's car, which is parked inside the university. A short while ago, of course, the NIA has swung into action, but we also know that the ED and the EOW, they've also now joined hands, perhaps to check from where the funds are coming and to establish more concrete links between this university and the Delhi terror blast. Back to you, Divya.
Right, and of course, the founder and the trustee also coming under the scanner. So, Rahisha, we will keep coming back to you with that bomb squad. They're moving in as far as that Breza car is concerned. That has finally been located. For now, we're slipping into a very short break. Back with the very latest on the other side.
मजे को दुगुना करना है, मजे को तीन गुना करना है। गाजी, रोहन, रोहन से।
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. And now, Adeel Rather begins a new chapter at NDTV.
Actually, I'm taking off because the stories I cover don't sit still. To bring the world to India and to take India to the world, I need to be where action is.
Adeel Rather, covering international affairs like no one else, only on NDTV network.
The best app to use is the NDTV app.
दुनिया भर में जब भी भारतीय मीडिया की चर्चा होती है तो एनडीटीवी सबसे पहले जिक्र में आता है।
मैं आपका बात से सहमत हूं, उल्टे हम भी जब विदेश जाते हैं, the best app to use is the NDTV app.
The battle for Bihar is over.
There is a big twist in the tale.
Results ka time aa gaya ba.
Two completely different elections were executed on the ground.
NDTV's results countdown begins. November 14th with Rahul Kaval from 6 a.m.
22% gap amongst the women. That's the election right there.
Top team, fastest, first and factual. Blazing fast trends, winners and losers.
There is an exciting counting day that you need to watch. Friday morning, drop what you are doing, sit back, watch NDTV. There will be a contest.
November 14th, results with NDTV.
Other opposition parties. They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind. I pause. I reflect. I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted.